Hi guys, it's Jimmy. We're going to be running a TTRPG. It's called Cairn. It's the second edition if anyone cares about that. We're running a one-page dungeon called Temple of the Moon Priest, which won a competition back in 2017 by Will Doyle and Stacey, and I'm very excited to run it. It looks very fun. The players are, well, we know from the title. We got Taylor, we got Mega, we got Ray, and we got PB. So hopefully we're going to have a really fun time. None of us have ever played this game before. We don't play Cairn. Most of us have played D&D. I think all of us might have played D&D at some point. So this is going to be a bit more stripped back, you know, but hopefully we'll all get used to it very quickly. Were we to see, as a hawk does, from high above the realm, we would see the numerous villages, an occasional city nestled firmly within the boundless expanse of the Void. To the north, we see one of these small breaks in this endless blanket of green, as we look down upon the capital, the castle city of Garmongate. Look not to the cramped streets, the market stalls and the lives of the peasants, but to the castle garment itself, a stone spectre that watches down with disinterest at that beneath it. Beneath it, that is, in every sense of the word. Once a hub of activity, whether that be tournaments, jousts, banquets and balls, today no such sounds of revelry bounce between these ancient stone walls. All is eerily quiet in Castle Garment, and the only signs of life we see are two guards, who pause in their idle chit-chat as a young woman approaches the main gates. And with that, Megababes, you tell us all about the lady who approaches these gates.
So, it's sort of statuesque young woman dressed in manner that's not familiar to these parts and adorned with small icons resembling a sun. Approaches the gate in a manner that's guarded and clearly in a way that someone who's practiced at moving about in some quietness would do.
Okay. Are you going to tell us our character's name?
My name is Rai.
Well, Rai, you see in front of you, like I said, two guards. They're at the gates of this great, if not, slightly quiet, sad castle. The two guards pause in their chatter and look to you as you approach. There's some confusion in their eyes as you do.
Rai approaches and makes a show of not putting her hands near any weapons. Good morning. I am here on, I believe, a mission, a quest, perhaps you might say.
They look at one another and you see like the corners of their mouths turn up in a slight smirk. One of them's a bit taller than the other. He's got like a sort of curl to his mustache, and he looks at this other one who's got sort of a bit of scrubby facial hair, and he just says, "You're here for the castle." He says, "Here, Lefston, have you heard this? There's a girl here, a little girl, coming to the castle on some kind of quest. We were given a list earlier. Is there any little girls on there?" And the other fella looks and goes, Nope, I've got some warriors, maybe a few warriors. I don't see any little ladies on there."
How tall would you say these people are?
The taller of the two, the one with the mustache, he's about 6 foot. The other fella's a bit shorter. He's about 5'7".
Okay. Rai's gonna sort of stand up. Maybe she was like a little sort of crouched down. She's gonna stand fully at her full height, which is also 6 foot, and go, "Ah, yes, I am that little girl you're talking about. But by the way, gentlemen, a very lovely facial hair you both have. It suits you so well."
They just keep snickering to themselves and they said, "Who the hell has sent you on a quest over here? What are you talking about? We have strict instructions for a few people to come in today, and I don't see you on this list."
"You don't see me because it is a name that you have not asked for. Huh? My name is Rai. I have been sent here by, I suppose, the Dawn Brigade."
When you said the Dawn Brigade, you see them wince a little. And one of them, he tries to sort of talk to his friend under his breath and just sort of says, "Do you not look like she's from the Dawn Brigade? We can't be hassling the Dawn Brigade."
She takes out of her bag a little, once red, now white flower. Maybe this will help convince you.
As they see it, the shorter of the two goes like bright red, like his cheeks just flush immediately. And you can see him sort of look into his taller friend trying to come up with some kind of excuse to try and make this a little better. And
I assume, gentlemen, that I can pass. I will let whoever is in charge here know that you've been very kind to this little girl. And I think she moves on if she's able to.
Well, as you say that, another character comes over, is approaching from behind, and they catch sight of this fella coming from behind you, and both of them look very relieved that they've been given an exit to this conversation. And if PB wouldn't mind telling us about the fella that arrives.
Yeah, Flint is probably around about the same height as Rye, like 6'1", or thereabouts. Probably like more skinnily built, like he's all limbs, a bit gangly, but big enough that can sort of look somewhat intimidating, which is helped by the fact that his head's completely shaven and he's covered up. He's got his arms bare and his head all marked up in these tattoos that most people would sort of recognize as being characteristic of like some of like the rogues gangs in the city. Like if you see some of these particular otherwise meaningless markings, sort of to give him a bit of a wide berth. And but he dresses not of the city, but sort of in the rough sort of leather vests and I guess the sort of other practical wear that you would imagine of something more of a woodsman, which is also helped by a absolutely like gigantic white bow that he keeps in a large holster that sort of hangs off his waist, so it sort of hangs across his body rather than over the back. And yeah, not a very friendly looking character at all, but not overly old looking either. Like he looks like he might be in his sort of mid-20s, but it's a weathered mid-20s. Like this is a guy that's clearly lived a bit of a hard life already.
Okay. As you sort of come into view, the two guards, they sort of stop looking at Rye and they look over. The taller of the two with the mustache, he says, it's him, he's that tournament winner. Right, he's here, he's on the list. And the other one, the shorter one, goes, didn't you bet on the other guy last time he was in the tournament? And he just seems to sort of shove his friend as you approach. But yeah, what are you saying to these two guards? And obviously there is also the young lady Rye stood there as well as you approach the castle gates.
Yeah, I sort of look between the scene. I can just tell, I imagine from the look of it, the two of them against this girl that they're sort of, these are I've dealt with bunches before. I know, my way, but the bullshit happening outside towers and say,
fellow skinhead. Hello.
Do I know you, love?
I also definitely bet on you and not the other guy. You won the tournament, yes?
Yeah, something like that. That was a while back, though. Look, are we getting in to see the king or what?
That is what we're just finding out. These lovely gentlemen were helping me to enter whatever we are supposed to be entering. My name is Rye, by the way. Good to meet you.
Flint Quickwilla.
The guards, one of them has sort of opened the gates behind him as you two introduce yourselves to one another. And they say, oh, look, sorry about that. Come on, we'll take you inside. Yeah, as a representative of the Dawn Brigade, of course, you can come in. We were just messing around before. You know how it is. And Mr. Flint, sir, please come in as well. The king has been expecting you today. It must be quite an honor for you guys. Not many of us get to speak to the king directly. Come in. And there's a large grounds that a path goes through, some hedges, there's loads of trees, and the great castle of Garmin is behind.
As I head in, I say under my breath, but not very inaudible to anyone, fucking castle cunts.
Given what's happened already, they choose not to hear what you say. You see them twitch, like the taller one's head sort of twitches back to look at you and then thinks better of it. And they push open these great wooden doors that lead into the castle itself. And you see empty corridors. There's no noise coming from within the castle really at all. And they sort of begin a path through the corridors. And you can see that there are sort of big portraits on the walls. Cobwebs have started to gather. There's a sort of a slight layer of dust on the floor. And you are led eventually up to some stairs. This big curving stairway goes up and eventually leads you to this great big ornately carved door. It's a huge wooden door. And one of them knocks, and there's a slight creak as the door opens, and you see a servant's face behind it. And the guard says, "We got two on the list for the king today." And the servant says, "Yes, on your way. That's fine. Thank you. I'll let them in." And the two guards just sort of gesture towards the door and make themselves scarce immediately. The door opens and there's a servant stood there, an older man, balding. He has a very neat beard and he says, come in, come in. The king has asked for several representatives from certain groups in society. Can I just ask which ones you are?
All right, grandfather, I'm Flint Quickwilla, and this is, Bai.
I am Rai. I'm here on behalf of the Dawn Brigade.
She says, oh, the Dawn Brigade. Brilliant. Fantastic. So we have the Dawn Brigade and we have, the tournament winner. Of course. Please, step this way. And he moves out of your way and gestures into a large room. And this room, in contrast to the corridors that you've been through, is spotless. There's a huge 4-poster bed. There's, gold and silver just adorning basically everything. Huge golden frames. There's a large desk with all kinds of trinkets. Probably more gold than you've ever seen in your lives, basically. And as you step in, probably would take you a second to even notice that there is someone in the bed, and he has a crown as he is the king. He's almost shrunken into the sheets. He's not looking very good. He coughs occasionally, even just as you step into the room, you can just hear this horrible cough. And
goes, I've definitely seen more gold in my life before.
And yeah, you're led in, and the king says to his servant, he just says, thank you. Oh, please, leave them here. And he rings a bell. He's like pulls on a cord to ring a bell by his bed. And you know, somewhere deep within the castle, you imagine a bell is ringing in response. Down in that room, there would be an array of bottles and different materials for what you would assume potion making, things like that. Herbs, small bits of animals, all that kind of thing. And there would be a lady attending to this. And if Ray wouldn't mind telling us about that person, that would be great.
Down making, I think in this moment she's getting an elixir ready, so she was probably about to leave anyways to take it. She's standing about 5'9", dressed in very fine clothing, noble-like, but also like she's in mourning. She definitely has a veil over her face. She seems to look like she's running around barefoot. Don't look too closely, it's okay. And her skirt's a little tattered. Otherwise, she has fair, rosy skin, auburn hair, hazel eyes, and again, getting an elixir together.
So you would know normally that when the king rings like that yeah, he's basically asking for this to be brought to him. You're used to this by now. Up a staircase, through a door, and there you are. You're welcome in the king's room whenever he rings that bell. You're one of the few people who's trusted to enter that room quite often. And as you enter, he says, oh, Evelyn, welcome. He takes the elixir from you, outstretching this sort of like shriveled hand at this point, and he says, but I have something that I must ask of you today. I believe,
yes, my king,
that I am past the point of having much hope, even with such tinctures and elixirs, and I ask if you might stand with these two that I have brought before me, and I will explain all. And then he looks around and he says, wait, one is missing. Has the Order of Canas not also sent a champion? And we move then, not into the room that the king is in, but to pure darkness. All that we can see is darkness. And Taylor, his character feels a bang. Just a bang as his whole world comes alive. He wakes up, there's just this huge boom. And you can hear muffled voices from beyond the darkness. And someone's just like, oh, you could help a little. By God, that was heavy. And the other one just says, stop being a wuss. What even is that? There's some kind of crest on it. And the first one says, I don't know. I've been around for 15 years and I've never seen that castle in my life. But whatever they're sending, I hope they're not sending any more of it. And if Taylor wouldn't mind telling us who is within the darkness.
So within the darkness lies Percival Altopeeses. Hard to say how tall he is, how wide he might be, for he is, in fact, in bits. Having been moved around a little bit loosely put together in his life, and needing to make a long trek towards the keep. The Order of Canas, in fact, put him in a box and shipped him off And there he finds himself in a crate carried by some gruff men. After a long trip, is ready to make his his reacquaintance with the free air.
So he hears these voices from beyond the wooden crate that he's in. Yeah, what's he doing?
Hello? Hello?
You just see,
Is anybody out there?
oh, jeez, it speaks. And someone gives it a kick. You just feel like everything's shaking.
Oh.
What's the meaning of this?
If you don't mind, I'm a little cramped in here. Could you perhaps let me out?
What are you doing in there?
Well, I have an appointment with the king. What else do you expect?
You hear like sort of the voices drop to a whisper, but you can still hear them really. As one of them is like, "The king is meeting some folks today. He didn't say anything about one of them in a box. There's a crowbar." And you just hear like and then a big pop as the lid pops open, the nails all popping out, and there's like, Jesus, what the? Ugh! As they look down, and there's just you in a box.
So one by one, a foot, leg, an arm, a wiggling torso, and a head all spring out of the box, rolling and grabbing and jumping as they all can do, piling themselves up before the box and before the men, and in time reforming themselves into entire man. He's surprisingly athletically built, never been in the same room as a calorie in his life, and a perfectly handsome face, of course, as well. He lets out a mighty stretch and goes, "Oh, that is so much better. Thank you, gentlemen."
They just look at you in pure shock at what they've seen. One of them has a crowbar in hand, and the other one, he's sort of hesitating. He wants to reach for his sword, but he's not sure that that's a good idea.
Now, my good men, there's no need for such fear. Please, for your trouble, would you each take a gold piece? And I reach into the crate, into my things, and find a gold piece, and I have one in each hand, and I hold them out to the men.
They he puts the crowbar down, the other one starts to reach for his sword, and they tentatively take it off you.
As they take the gold pieces, my hands separate from my body.
You just, and they just throw it down.
Sorry, man, that's my little joke.
I don't know what's going on here. What do you think you're doing?
Well, first, being a little drafty, I will put on my vestments, and I'll join you in a moment. I just collect all my things, and I put on my clothes and all such things. As I said before, I have an appointment with the king, and I believe it would be rude to keep him waiting.
The one that was previously holding the crowbar, he saw his hand just outstretches as he points to a staircase that goes up, and he says, I'll take you, but I'm gonna have to make sure of this." And he sort of starts walking ahead of you. He keeps looking back over his shoulder with this like just unsettled face as he leads you up the staircase. You go through similar dusty corridors to Flint and to Rye before coming around a corner, and you can just hear from inside a room nearby. You just hear someone in a sickly voice say, "But one is missing. Has the Order of Cairn not sent a champion?" And he just points you to that room. There's this guard, and he stays firmly still just to make sure that when you enter, that's what was meant to happen.
I'd go into the room and I say, "The Order has indeed sent a champion, my king. It is I, Percival Altopeeses, though if the syllables strain you may call me Percy, my king."
The king looks at you as you enter and says, Good. I've not had to call on the Order of Cairn in some time. It is good to see that they still have warriors." And he sort of ushers you towards the others, and he says, It's a strange times I find myself in, where I must call upon the orders, call upon the people to assist. But as you may be able to tell, I have a great illness, that has taken hold of me, and with no heir to follow me, this news has reached the neighboring countries, and our neighbors are amassing their soldiers on the border, knowing that such confusion in the realm will lead to, well, them to be able to carve up our great nation. My own warriors, my own troops also man these borders. We cannot let such discretions continue. And so, with so little men at hand, I must ask you instead to help me with a task of grave importance. And I hope that you will all help the realm today. He sort of just looks at you. He's got watery, sickly eyes as he stares at each of you in turn and just sort of gauges your reaction as to whether, this is something that you would want to be involved in.
My liege, I am definitely very happy to help and not here for any other reason whatsoever.
We're getting paid for this, aren't we?
Invite.
He says, okay, this is good news. This is very good news. But you see, I feel the only way that we can bring stability to the realm is if I were to live long enough to sire an heir, to bring back stability and force back the invaders. There was an ancient temple, an ancient order within the vault near to the city that my ancestors, they conquered them. They conquered the pagans that took this temple as their home. And inside is an artifact, an old artifact, a pagan artifact that we would normally not use, but that can make a man live forever. It can cure illness. And if I was to be brought this artifact, I feel we could put a rest to these troubled times. My ancestors, they did not pay much heed to such magics, and I myself would prefer not to. But in these circumstances, I feel we must. I'm happy to provide a map, and the path was once guarded, and thus is safe. You'll find your way over to the temple of what was once called the Moon Priests, and if you enter this temple and retrieve this artifact for me, I will reward you most handsomely, and I rely upon you all to do this for me.
Long live the king. As they say, my liege, of course, the order's hand is yours.
I've always held the Order of Canas in great stead. I know their numbers are not what they once were, but perhaps that's something we can assist with once this is over.
On behalf of the Dawn Brigade, it shall be done.
That is good to hear. The Dawn Brigade are most powerful. They have helped our lands so much. He looks to Flint and Evelyn just to see what they say in response.
Flint looks more pointedly at Evelyn to see what she says, kind of wondering where does she fit in this weird band.
My king, I am no warrior. Would I not be better suited here by your side?
A smile cracks onto his face and he says, Evelyn, my dear, I understand. Your medicines, I'm sure, have kept me alive for much longer than I otherwise would have been able to. But I feel now that your talents are better spent assisting these people. You may not have won tournaments or be part of an order like these others, but your own talents, I'm sure, will be most useful in keeping them alive. The temple has not been entered in such a long time, and I would hate to think of any trouble being caused once you do go inside.
She doesn't respond. She just sits up straight and nods to his request.
I thank you, Evelyn. I know this is a lot to ask, but I thank you. And what of you? I heard you are the winner of the most recent tournaments. I'm sure you will be able to assist greatly in this task.
Well, I can't promise anyone else will, but sorry, I'm gonna just give up on the accent because it's not working. He goes, well, if the pay's good enough, I can keep myself alive. I can bring back what you want. I can't make any promises about the rest of these.
He says, I think you should trust in his companions, but no, you will be rewarded. The tournament winnings will look, so tiny in comparison to what I can provide. If only we can stem these troubles. And with that, he rings another bell and various staff members attend. A map is given to you, and you can see that the temple that he speaks of is not is not far from the capital whatsoever. You probably have to travel for about a day, and it will be through the vault, but as he said before, this was once a guarded path, and he doesn't anticipate there'll be any trouble on the way. And while Cairn is a system that lends itself quite well to traveling, it's not something we're going to be doing today just because this is a one-shot dungeon that we're going to do. However, you do make your way together through the woods, through the Great Vault, on the way to this temple. Before we get there, I just wondered if there was anything that your characters, what are the sort of vibes traveling along with each other? How do you feel they would respond to each of their companions?
As soon as we're out of earshot of the castle, it's like, man, that guy really needed a glass of water. Also, talking about the way people sound, Flint, was it? Was that your performance voice you were using before? You sound different now.
Oh, I've recently been ill. You spent a lot of time.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Anyway, I don't really know how worth it this quest is. I mean, supposing we help this king live a bit longer as he wants. I mean, at this point, he's shooting cobwebs, right? There's no chance he's producing an heir anytime soon.
I am obliged to help no matter what, unfortunately. So for me, there is no choice.
I suppose this temple holds great magic, and my order has told me to do so. Thus I must.
Flint looks again at Evelyn and says, right, so I understand what we're all doing here, but who exactly are you? Some servant of the king? You said you're not a warrior. What exactly are you doing with us then?
I am no servant of anyone's.
Flint gives everyone, like the other people, a silent look that says, ooh.
You tell him, girl.
But yeah, I would say that on the journey, Flint would probably not spend too much time, worrying about the others, but he would be sort of very, very vigilant, leading the way. Even if the road is sort of clear, this is a guy who, despite looking like a street thug, is very adept at traveling the woods, at keeping an eye out, scouting and the like. So I imagine he would not exactly lead the party, but be a distance in front of the party.
Okay. Yeah. So that's
Rise. Sorry. Rise similarly is going to be quite practiced at like looking out for danger, sort of tracking, and kind of falls into that patter quite naturally.
So as Flint sort of leads the way and, Ryan keeps her eyes about her, you do notice that the path, there is like a well-trodden path that you're able to follow. Some of it's even sort of fenced, which is unusual for the woods. You can tell this was, up until quite recently, well guarded, at least from the first day of the travel. And you would be expecting there might be bandits or wolves or bears, anything within the woods. There's stories that there's magical creatures within the woods, but you don't encounter anything. It is probably quite a refreshingly safe walk as you make your way through. And you travel for about a day, you have a rest, and very early on the morning of the second day, you start to hear running water. And eventually the trees part and you are able to tell that you're going, the sound you can hear is a waterfall. As the trees give way, you find yourselves on the western side of this riverbank. Before you to the north, is a great waterfall, and it's crashing down into the river below. And across the bank, sort of almost built into the cliffside, is this huge, it's a temple. There's a sort of domed area to the back that you can see that sort of comes out of the back of the cliff and is sort of at the same level as the top of the waterfall, and you can see that sort of reaching above at the back. And just on the other side, you see that the water rushes ahead and down into the cliff itself. On the other bank is also a campsite, which you probably weren't expecting. There's a couple of tents and a fire going. And there is a man that you can't quite make out what he looks like from this distance, but you can see that there is a figure who appears to be sort of sat down at the camp on the other side, on the other bank. And so as you all leave the tree line, what are you guys doing?
I imagine the first thing Flint would try to do is stealthily approach close enough to sort of inspect the fella to get like a read of like attire, like you know, standing weapons, stuff like that.
Yeah, so okay, we can have his first roll then. So how Cairn works is it's a d20 system. So you just roll, you're going to be rolling a d20 for everything except damage, and it's a roll under system. So what that means is that if we look at Flint, for example, Flint has 15 dexterity, and so to see if he's acted particularly stealthy here, if you want to roll a d20 and if you get under a 15, then you have in fact been very stealthy in your approach.
Huzzah!
So you are. So you guys see Flint approach quietly. Obviously, there is a river between you, but you're able to get up to the river's edge. You know, there's some rocks and some bushes besides the river, and you're able to get into there without this figure across the way seeing you. And from this distance, you can make out that he's a sort of older man. He has a grey beard, a bald head, and sort of tatty blue robes. And he's looking down, not into the fire, but beside it, there's a small cat. And the cat hasn't moved as far as you can see, but he's just looking down at his cat across the river. As Flint's doing that, what are the other three of you doing?
I'm watching Flint's progress play out.
Okay, so yeah, that's fine. So Percy, he stands by and watches as Flint undertakes this. Is Rye up to anything?
A camper in encampment, as I was definitely expecting. She's going to take a position with her sling out, kind of covering Flint's approach.
Okay. And then Evelyn, what are you up to?
I think I'm gonna follow behind Flint.
Okay. Would you like to do stealthily as well?
Yeah, I'll attempt that.
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, there's a roll. Evelyn has a 10 dexterity, so she isn't quite as dexterous. Oh, okay. So, you got a 12, so you actually are not particularly stealthy. So, Flint goes ahead first and is able to sort of camouflage himself in the bushes as he looks ahead to this figure. And Flint, you just hear this snap behind you as Evelyn steps on a branch. The figure across the river, he looks over from his cat to you. He doesn't even stand up, and you can just sort of see him peering with a surprised expression. He just says, hello?
Did he have any weapons on him?
You can see that he's got a staff, big wooden staff, that he could probably clonk you with, and it would probably hurt in front of him. But he's not even holding it, it's just sort of sat. It's sort of laid by his feet.
Well, first of all, Flint would give Evelyn a very dirty look and say, fucking hell, woman. And then sort of
I don't let you talk. I throw my hand up. Hello, sir. And I start walking.
Okay, so as you start walking towards
I
him,
roll to attack. No, I'm kidding.
as you start walking towards him, he says, hello. I wasn't expecting to see anyone else out here. If you're coming across, and then he sort of points to sort of a thinner bit of the river. He says, it's shallow enough to walk across at that point.
I take a look. Is it shallow enough to walk across?
Yeah, you think so. Yeah, absolutely. You can see that at some points, you know, if you were to go up to the waterfall, it looks quite deep over there. There's a point quite near the camp where you could make your way, and you probably, you know, you're gonna get wet ankles, and it's probably not gonna quite come up to your knees.
I don't go into the water. I stop and look at it.
Right.
Flint's gonna like give her a little push on the back to, you know, a lead the way sort of gesture. You know, intentionally.
Actually, she'll turn. She's holding her bag. She has like a bag sling across her shoulder. Could you please carry me?
Are you joking?
Afraid I'm not.
All right, well, he's just gonna sling her over her shoulder then, and you know.
Okay, no worries.
I'm not gonna complain.
Do you think that Flint would, if as he slings you over his shoulder, would he sort of hear anything in particular?
I think he should be surprised that she snapped a twig.
Right, okay. So, yeah.
There's just a missing weight there.
So there you go. Yeah, cool. So Flint might notice that.
So what does that mean from my, you know, perspective?
So you don't feel that you probably picked up a few women in your time.
My
by the
top
sounds
side
of,
is heavier, if that helps.
But the bottom is the bottom half does not weigh as much as you'd think. You have to shift her weight in an unexpected way to stop her from falling off.
There's just so many jokes I could make right now.
I will stab you.
Yeah, no, he's just gonna, you know, like, are we talking like it feels weightless beneath the waist? Like he's probably gonna, like, you know, jostle her about on the shoulder.
Not that far. It's like she has no feet. If that helps.
Yeah, well, yeah, he would make note of this, and then it turned back to R2 and, give him a nod over to follow the river as he would carry the bundle over.
How do Percy and Rai react to that?
So, Monsieur Percival, do you want a piggyback ride?
Not necessary, milady. I shall simply use my legs, thank you. Which I have.
Maybe next time.
And others don't.
So, shall we go? And she sort of like jerkingly offers an arm.
I accept, gratefully, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the four of you make your way across this shallow bit of river, and this fella, he's probably in his sort of late 50s. He's balding, he's got this sort of grey beard, and he's looking down at his cat. And you sort of, you make your way over. He says, "Oh, I'm very sorry, I don't have any more chairs." And you see he's just got sort of a makeshift chair of his. It's basically just a log that he sat on. He sort of has a little chuckle to himself and says, "What brings you to the temple?"
We are here on
behalf of the king.
Ah,
That's our king name.
the king. Yes, I suppose we should have expected he'd send someone along shortly. Well, he says, "I wouldn't..." And then he starts coughing as well. And you would all probably notice when he coughs, the cat shimmers slightly. It sort of wavers. Yep.
DM question. Have I ever seen a cat before?
Yeah, I think you would have seen a cat. They would have had, in older like societies where they have store grain or anything, they'd have them to get rid of rats and things and mice. But I think you might have seen the odd cat. Probably not seen the one shimmer before or waver.
Important question. Was I put down?
No, you're talking from behind my shoulder at the moment.
No.
As he looks at you all, he says, "Yes, well, whatever the king sent you for, you're probably slightly too late. They've probably raided the place by now. I should think you should probably go back and tell him you failed."
Or they.
They? Oh, well, we call ourselves the Knucklebones. And I think that Flint only would probably have heard the name of the Knucklebones occasionally. Not often, maybe just as he's in a pub one day someone might have mentioned of a gang of that name. But they don't come to the city very often. I don't think the rest of you would have heard the name though. But yeah, he says, "We are the Knucklebones, and, well, my companions, my colleagues, will have already been inside and found anything of worth. We recently discovered this place was unguarded, and if the king's been guarding it for all those decades, there must be something inside worthwhile."
Would I know the Knucklebones as like a gang, as mercenaries?
Yeah, like a sort of one of the sort of a mixture between an adventuring gang and bandits, basically, somewhere between those two. They'll raid a temple if they think it's safe enough, or they'll rob someone if they think that's safe enough.
Right, so if this area's been like lying undisturbed for a good while, looking towards the sort of entrance to the temple, would I see, like, are there signs of footprints? Like, I imagine if there's like a crowd of people in sort of outdoors where...
You can see that there is an entrance that goes into sort of the cliffside and some steps going downwards. And you can see there are muddy footprints going down the stairs.
Looking to the old fella, I'd be like, "So how long have these mates of yours been gone then?"
He says, "Oh, we all went in. We all went in. An hour ago or so. I'm not taken too well, so I came out, but there's a few. The rest of them are in there having the time of their lives, I'm sure."
Sounds like a little party, yeah? Or maybe we can join the soiree, yeah?
He says, "Well, don't expect them to share. They're not one for sharing, really."
That is understood, but I assume you're not going to get in our way as we just have a little look down these stairs, huh?
So, be my guest. Some of them are meaner than others, but I'm sure they're all reasonable men at heart. I've always got along well with all of them. You go in if you please. But like I said, they'll have got anything of worth. It's not worth your time.
Can I perceive like tells of whether this fella is like nervous or?
Yeah. If you make a will save, we'll see how perceptive you're being.
I think that's my worst stat, but someone else do it.
Yeah, I'm starting to think I may have reversed my stat.
Oh, well, I got will 9, so that should be fine.
Right, and yeah, you've rolled an 8, so you just passed. You sort of get the vibe that no, everything he's saying seems pretty honest. There's no sort of tells that he's lying. He seems quite a bit ill, not as ill as the king, but he seems a bit ill. And I think you do also get the idea that he's playing that quite cool. Like he's trying to suggest, oh, you know, I've just come down a little bit ill, but there's a little bit of worry to that. But everything he said about his friends, about the fellow knucklebones, you don't get any sort of tells that he's lying about that.
Yeah, Flint, not really giving a shit, would probably keep his distance, but, you know, he's not going to inquire about that, so.
Okay.
He just, you know, he's done with this conversation, just watches the others.
Right, no worries. Is anyone else wanting to do anything or say anything to this fella?
Thank you very much for your time, and if I may, I'm quite fond of cats. May I have a pet?
He laughs. He says, oh, it's not real. It's whenever I'm feeling a bit down and I like to summon my little friend here. It's more of an illusion, you see, but it comforts me. This is my cat from home. His name is His name is Hocus Pocus. Every time he coughs, the cat wavers slightly. And he says, but, well, as I'm feeling a bit under the weather, I just thought it'd be nice to see his little face.
Is that a no I'm hearing?
Touch it if you wish, but you won't touch anything.
I'll give it a touch.
Yeah, your hand goes straight through the cat. And like I said, the cat doesn't move or react in any way. Your hand just goes straight through and it shimmers as if you'd put like your hand in a pond. You know, if you'd seen your own reflection in a pond and put your hand in, it sort of wavers in that and wobbles in that same way.
And the illusion that. I'd quite like to know how to do it. But if there's nothing else, I suppose we may go.
And if a cat does not want to be pet, it really doesn't want to be pet. It's cats.
Okay. What are you guys up to then now? So you spoke to him. He's happy. You know, he's not going to prevent you from going inside or anything.
Looking at the camp, can I get a rough idea of how many men there might be in this group?
Yeah, I think you would be able to see that quite easily. But then again, the DM would also have to know how many people are in there, so he'll have to work that out very quickly. I suppose they wouldn't all have the, like, you know, it's not like they've got neatly laid out sleeping bags, but you know, it's not a tiny camp.
Sure. Are we talking like less than 10 or?
You think about 10-ish, probably, okay. From the number of, they've got a few tents, they've got 3 tents out, each big enough for a few sleeping bags, and there is one open, and you can see there are a few sort of left out. So you would assume, yeah, roughly 10-ish. Sounds about right.
Look at the others and very, very confidently go, so definitely 11 men down there.
Excuse me, Flint, can you put me down, please?
Oh, yeah. Bed's done. That's it done. He's not gonna drop her like an asshole, you know, he'll do proper.
I'll fix my, my scourge stuff, and I'll turn and look at the cat. Can I?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes. No, go for it.
I was just saying, like, is the cat close to this old fella?
Yeah, it's very close.
Okay, I think that Flint would probably also like subtly use his bow to like scoop Percy a bit further away from the cat and the old man, just subtly.
Okay, so Percy, you get a bit of a nudge from the bow. How do you react to that?
My hand detaches from my arm at the wrist, and I go, Flint, how could you? I pick it up, but I move aside as he wants.
Okay.
I mean, have I seen anything like this before?
You have never seen a man's hand fall. None of you have ever seen a man's hand fall off. In fact, the man sat at the thing, his eyes like flick open in shock as he sees that. And then when he sees that you're fine and that your hand hasn't just been chopped off or anything, he sort of shakes his head slightly and smirks. But you can tell he's very curious about that. But he doesn't ask any questions.
When this happens, I'm like, I'm getting down, I'm fixing myself, and I'm looking at what we're seeing here, and I'm looking at the cat, and I'm trying to discern the magic, like what's going on with this guy for a second, even his sickness. And then the hand happens, and she like steps back, like, what fae has done that to you?
Pardon me. Very, very sorry. A few too many practice sessions with the disassembly spell have left me a little rickety. I apologize. It will happen again.
Okay. Is anyone? What are you guys up to now? So Flint's shifted Percy away. Yeah, you've all seen the hand fall off. Is there anything anyone wants to do on the, on the banks of the river or anything? Like I said, there is an entrance just slightly to your northwest of that. There's a great big waterfall, and you do notice that the river goes into another entrance, though there isn't sort of an easy way to climb in without getting in the water to the south.
I'm just going to point at the camp and just say, cat's bait. There looks like there are two entrances we can take. Which one do we prefer?
Looking at the entrances, does it look like the waterfall entrance? Is it sort of like just looking sort of naturally carved into the rock, or does it seem to also be sort of shaped like the?
So the one to the south does. The one to the south, where the river is flowing in. Yeah, that one. You can go down to the south of the camp a bit and have a peer in. And you can see that the river is basically flowing into the cliffside, and that looks very naturally formed. Whereas the one to the north, the one actually by the waterfall, is...
Okay, so sorry, it's not actually at the waterfall.
This one here looks to, an actual entryway has been carved. It's maybe proper stone bricks that have been used to sort of make an archway, and then a proper staircase. Once again, it's sort of old and worn, but clearly, human hands have made this one. Whereas the one down to the south here, the river is flowing into that one.
No, I'm speaking a lot now, saying part of me thinks that if we can avoid running into this other group by taking the other entrance, then that might help us avoid any unnecessary tension. But how can we tell that is actually going to lead to where we need to go, into the temple proper, and not just, out some gulch into sea somewhere?
I have no preference. The king did say enter the temple, so I feel we should enter the temple, but any means is fine by me.
I think I agree with Percival here. I think we can just enter. We are under the king's orders after all.
Does Evelyn have any particular strong feelings about which one?
I'm for avoiding as much contact as possible, but I also have to avoid water. Unless we want to experience something worse than his disassembly.
You think the southern entrance, you would not be able to get into that without getting wet? Even if Flint carried, I don't think he would be able to carry you in. It's too deep at that point. So you know that if you want to go through the southern entrance, you're getting wet.
I fear I literally cannot go that way, despite wanting that.
Right, so this lady can go into water. This fella's falling apart. What about you? What's your deal? And now he's looking at...
I was about to ask you the same thing. Wait. No, it's okay. I am perfectly capable of either swimming or we can simply walk down the stairs. I think either will be fine for me.
Right. Stairs it is then?
Perhaps...
Stairs it is then.
Percival, can we... how much of you can we detach? Could we put your head down the river so you can see what's down there?
I suppose you could, but retrieving it might be a bit of an issue.
It sounds like a you problem.
I think this would probably be... Oh, no, I thought I had a rope for some reason. Nope, never mind. Don't say nothing.
You, just while you're thinking about that, since you are looking around, at these entrances and looking at ways to get in, and you're thinking about the fact that you haven't got a rope, you do notice that on the bank you originally came in through, down the side of the waterfall is a rope, and you see it hanging down the whole side of the waterfall. It comes from the very top. It's someone's used pittons and things to keep it in place all the way down, and it's on the other side.
Do the pittons look new? Do they look well maintained? Does the rope look fine?
You'd have to cross up back, you can cross over that river the easy way again. There's no real danger there. So, and you go have a look, and the rope looks quite old, and the pittons have rusted in places. It's not frayed or anything. But it does look like it's been soaking in this water for a long time, for a very long time. You don't think it's the knuckle bones or anything that's placed there. It looks like it's been there for a long time.
Yeah, Flint will just say, hang on, crew, give me a second. He's gonna just try and climb up to see if he can, like, just scout around the top of it, see if there's another entrance or anything else of note up there.
Did you
Okay.
just call us a crew?
Can you roll? Give me.
kill my
entrances to
friends.
choose from.
So, can you give me a dex roll, please? 18.
Ooh.
What is yours?
15, my dex is 15.
It's 15. So you get sort of not too far up, and one of the pittons comes out of the rope, and it sort of detaches, and you swing a bit. You know, it doesn't come off, or the rope doesn't snap off or anything like that, and you're able to just keep your foot in, but you don't manage to get all the way up or anything at this point. But you are that it worries you a little. It is holding your weight at the moment.
Back across the river. Nope. That's not the one.
Okay. So you guys see him, try and climb a little bit up, and then it just pings out, and he decides not to go back. Where are you guys heading now, or what are you guys doing?
I'm going up the steps.
Okay. So Evelyn's going to lead the charge down the steps.
Evelyn.
Okay. Is everyone else following along?
Yeah, but whenever we get, I mean, so long if Percy is following as well, I'm thinking that whenever we get out of the earshot of the old fella, just like giving a quick whistle, just like, all right, before we go in here, we should probably figure out what can each of us do. What do we bring to this crew here? Best to know who's to handle what.
I have a sling shot, demonstrate my sling. I have an index and a can-do attitude.
As I've shown before, my body can fall to pieces, and that's fine, but I have another form, one more four-legged and furry if needed. On top of that, I have a crossbow, and I quite enjoy firing it from behind my stronger compatriots.
Whenever Percy talks, Flint has like slowly transfigured into a bit of a grimace just listening to him, but he accepts and moves on.
Well, I have a dagger. If you want to get injured, I have stuff for that too. And if it's super severe, this could make terrain quite difficult.
Right, and trained ranger, hand with the bow. I know my way about the wilds.
So I feel like we're quite artillery heavy here. So maybe if you like, I can lead with the hand axe. And a little torch, perhaps, to light our way?
Yep, by all means.
That sounds perfect.
Would it be easier if I held the torch?
I would
That's
be
part of the shortcut
delighted. Yeah, I'll hand you a torch.
So Evelyn's got the torch. Who's leading the way in?
It sounds like Rye and Evelyn.
Okay.
Sounds like it's the girls.
All right,
It's the
the
girls.
girls are going
We're
ahead.
staying next to each other.
So as the girlies make their way through the entrance and down the steps, you can actually see torchlight coming from within. It all does seem quite dark apart, but there's that glow of torchlight coming from around the corner. You see that the stairs go down into a corridor and open up into a room. From the stairs, you can see that directly opposite you is an exit to that room. And to the north, you can see that that's where the torchlight is coming from. And you can hear two voices. One of them saying like, "Oh, there must be a way. There's got to be one." And the other one says, "I don't know, these freaky priests, maybe they magicked it up." And the first voice says, "No, that's stupid. There's a way to do it. There's a way to do it." And what are you doing hearing those voices?
Gonna sort of pause and listen in and say to Evelyn, shall we eavesdrop a little bit, huh?
Sure, they sound confused, so there might actually be hope here.
Okay, so you
don't
guys,
seem to have got too far in, huh?
so you hear those two voices and you stop and eavesdrop. And they just start arguing about what they were saying. One of them was like, "Oh, really? That's stupid, is it? You're an expert in old dead priests, are you?" And it was, "Oh, you're an expert, are you? Oh, are you sure about that?" And they just really start laying into each other about whatever it is they're confused about.
Evelyn, I don't know about you, but I seem to keep running into pairs of goons.
Absolutely. Perhaps we
Yes.
can get them to turn on each other if we need to.
Yes, I like that. I like that idea a lot. Flint, Percy, what do you think?
Well, we've no qualms with these men just yet, and they seem quite ready to solve this problem all on their own. I say we give it one more second to hear what they have to say.
You have that little conversation and you listen back. Well, the first one just sort of says like, look, it's not moving. We've tried lifting it. Maybe we just go ask the wizard or something. I'm sure he'll have an idea. The other was like, oh, come on, we don't want to ask the wizard. Don't make me ask the wizard. We can figure this out. Come on.
Is there anything else in like this room that we can see? Is it just like a straight up corridor?
So you can tell that it goes up to the north and south. But as you've sort of stopped to eavesdrop and haven't sort of poked your head in yet, you can see a bit of rubble, sort of like broken wooden furniture in that sort of path that you can see. But you can tell that the room goes to the north and south. And, if you were to poke your head round, that you'd be able to see that.
Are they coming this way or?
They haven't moved yet. The voices haven't moved at all. They're in the north of the room, and one of them's clearly holding the torch. They haven't moved yet. They've just been sort of stood still arguing in the north of that room.
These men have mentioned a wizard, a spellcaster, they could be called. Who do we know nearby that can cast spells? Perhaps he knows more about this door.
You reckon that's the fellow with the magical cat then?
Reckon it's the fellow with the magical cat.
Yeah, Flint getting a little impatient at this point says, right, well, we're not going to sort this out by standing here. You're the best spoken of us. You get out there. And he basically thrusts Evelyn out and like standing behind her. Pushing
Evelyn around.
Does Evelyn, does she try and resist anyway? Or is she quite happy? Is she with him at this point to sit?
Is she happy?
Yeah.
No.
So displeased but unresisting, Evelyn is thrust out.
Is this what friendship is like?
Into this room.
Oh boy, Percy, you've got some issues, man.
I know he's eager and I can't think of the right word, but I know he's wanting to get a move on, and I think I can look at this. So I'm offering something so he stays chill because he seems like he's gonna like get pissed at any moment, like actually rage in a sense.
Okay. So Evelyn and Flint, then you see that to the south of you is just sort of like there's an old table. It's sort of rotting and falling apart. Some chairs that are broken to pieces. And to the north of you is a small portcullis, and there are two men stood in front of it. One of them has a battle axe on his waist, and one of them is holding a torch aloft. And they're sort of arguing with each other until you appear. And then they just sort of look at their eyebrows go up and they're like, oh, are you guys with us?
Flint is looking expectantly at Evelyn.
You ordered a wizard. We are here to deliver.
Oh, do you want to get this open? And you can see beyond the portcullis is a chest. The chest is open and it is full of gold coins.
I've seen more gold coins before, definitely.
Wait, what? Help with a chest, like to be moved?
So you can see the portcullis in front of it is shut. And they just can't. They're both stood in front of the portcullis and now looking expectantly at you guys. And it's like, so did Billy has sent you to help us with this?
Is there any signs of a mechanism connected to it? Can I see like how the portcullis is itself connected to the architecture around it?
So you look around and you don't notice any sort of levers or anything like that that might assist. It looks quite old and rusty, but
it's made of like bars, right? Kind of like a jail cell.
It's exactly like that. Yep, that's right. It's made of bars.
Quite wide. Some of these gaps.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah,
maybe?
Absolutely. Yeah, you couldn't fit a person through them by any means, but there's square gaps. You could probably put your head through one, but not your shoulders.
But what if you put a person through bit by bit? Huh? Percy? Huh?
We are here to help. Yes, 100% lying.
You've because you caught them unawares. I'm not even going to make you roll. They're not the smartest pair, and since you said about the wizard thing, they kind of buy it on that basis. They just think you're friends with Bilious outside, and they're just like, yeah, good, yeah, let's get this open. There's enough cash here to share between the lot of us.
Percival, can we disassemble you and put you through this portcullis?
Yes, that is quite fine. The men of the order would often send me down into the sewer in such a way when they would drop their jewelry down there. It's no bother.
Did it happen to tell you
Look at Percy with like this horrified face.
Yeah. Did it happen to tell you that that's just what friends do for one another? Just asking.
Yeah.
Okay, that explains a lot.
Does the area around the portcullis or like leading to the chest? Yeah, I'm sure I've probably assisted in a few break-in and enterings. Is there like any raised tiles, any signs of any sort of traps or anything that might be waiting for Percy's hand to come through?
Yes, you have a look and you can't see any. So how this game works, by the way, just say is there aren't sort of perception checks. If you look at something and check it thoroughly, then you will find what is there. The issue with that is that it will take time, and sometimes we'll roll on a table to see what happens as a result. Given that there are still two blokes in there with you and we're still dealing with that sort of encounter, we're not going to roll right now. But you're able to look around and you don't notice any sort of traps or anything. The bottom of the portcullis is quite sharp. The bottom of each bar is spiked. So if it was to fall on you, it would hurt. There's no sort of pressure plates or anything like that you can see.
I think, can I just, I'm just going to try something, gentlemen and Evelyn, and I take out one of my sling pebbles, like one of the stones that I would fire from a sling, and just toss it gently through the portcullis.
It goes happily through and donk, donk, donk on the floor and lands sort of by the chest. Nothing happens.
Totally safe to me. That's my contribution.
Well, no reason to wait, my friends. These men need our help, and we would love to see them on their way, and so we can continue on ours. So if we're all agreed, this shall go a little bit easier if you all take turns picking up pieces of me and squirting me through the little holes. That would be fine, thank you.
I will say, if you want to fall to pieces and go through, your shoulders are going to be an issue. Like, your torso is probably not going through. Your hands, feet, head, that's all fine. You could do that. Your arms and legs could slot through. The middle bit of you is going to be a toughie.
Well, that's all right. The pieces, they go back together in all sorts of ways. I'll make it work.
I hate this. But
how many pieces of Percy do you need to make a mini Percy?
Really just 1 foot and a head, but a little bit more than that would be fine.
All right, I get to squirt him then.
Okay, so just
help.
Yeah, I think the girls are going to watch this, watch Flint and Percy squirt. That's how this is going.
So when you fall to bits, the two guys, they look aghast at you and they're like, "We've never seen Bilius do anything like that before. His friends are." They're feeling a little bit sick, and it's like, "I think I prefer it when he just makes his cat appear." Oh.
Ooh, I would like to take the opportunity to try to walk him out, to suggest maybe you need fresh air. We need some space while we get this open.
Yeah, honestly, I was going to say you get used to it, but you really don't.
They'll go with you. They both look kind of ill, and they kind of trust you at this point. So they look away and they let sort of Evelyn, you sort of usher them outside. In the meantime,
Yeah,
Flint,
I'll lead them out, but I'll step, I don't go out with them.
Okay, yeah, you stay within the room. And Flint's able to sort of shove hands and a head and a foot through the bars without trouble. What kind of monstrosity forms on the other end?
So my legs and feet and hands and arms and head are in there. So 2 legs are poking out of the neck and arms and hands are poking out of my ears. I'm kind of shuffling along that way. Once again, looking within the chamber to see if there's a way to open it from this side this time.
If your hands are on your ears, can you hear anything?
What?
You don't see any way to raise it from this side either. It just seems to be an old, crusty portcullis. The chest, however, you're quite able to access. And like I say, it just seems to be full of many gold pieces. You would say maybe 500, I guess, gold pieces just sat within that chest.
Do I see any kind of magic working here?
You don't see that there's any magic sort of, keeping it closed or keeping it up here. No, it doesn't. There's nothing outwardly magical happening
Well, I'm going to dig around in the chest just to see if there's anything else other than gold. I have no use for gold personally, having taken a vow of poverty. Forgot to mention that before you tucked me in here, but anyway.
You're able to fill your, big handfuls of gold pieces, but you don't find anything else within the chest.
Okay. Well, I'll have to shovel the gold out through the bars, I guess, and that's what I'll do.
As you start grabbing handfuls of it, you notice that normally the coins of the realm are stamped with like the king's head. In this case, they're not. There's just a symbol of a crescent moon on each one. You're able to just sort of shove them through the bars. And at the noise of the coins spilling, those two fellas manage to get enough bravery to peek back around the corner, and they see you, and they're like, "Oh!" In fact, I'm gonna roll a check to see how they do. Okay, so on a 7, the love of gold overcomes their disgust, and they start coming towards the gold to sort of collect a big handful of it.
Does the crescent moon symbol mean anything to me in any relation to the Lord Sun?
No, you don't recognize the symbol at all, to be honest. But I mean, the king did tell you that this temple was to some kind of older religion that was to do with the moon. You would probably be able to assume it was something to do with that.
Yeah, just like take them all the coins and give it the old bite test. Is it real gold?
Yes. Yeah, it's real gold.
Well, in that case, Flint is going to be, helping himself to quite a bit of it as well.
You stuff your pockets full of gold. None of you seem to be interfering with the other two, with the two knucklebones. But correct me if I'm wrong. So they're going to do
500 pieces seems like more than any, like even a group of people would be able to carry.
Yeah. So you're able to stuff your pockets and load your bag up full of gold. And they don't have a backpack on them, but their pockets are bulging as Percy doles out all this gold.
I think the other characters would probably be able to notice that Rai has a little bit of distasteful reaction to the symbol of the moon, even if she doesn't know anything about it. It just sets her off a little bit.
Okay. Evelyn, what are you doing as this occurs? So Rai's not happy about that symbol. Percy's shoveling it through, and Flint's picked up a good handful and stuffed in his pocket. Are you doing anything in this time?
I'm just pocketing one because I'm interested in it, but I don't feel the need to have any gold.
Okay. You have 1 gold coin then?
Yeah.
Percy's able to actually empty it. It takes a few trips as he sort of waddles on his neck feet to and from the chest. And
I actually roll myself up into a ball like Samus.
Oh, right, okay.
Like
yeah. Just and you...
I'm losing it over this like horrible amalgamation of flesh that essentially has like Beats headphones on.
What?
I think Flint probably looks like he's never like quite hated a creature as much as utter derision watching him go.
I have a big smile on my face because I'm having a nice adventure with my new friends.
Excellent.
Whilst, fill in his own bag, Flint is going to look to the other fellas and say, "Your lad's gotten any further in here then?"
He says, yes, the others went ahead. We decided to stay back with the chest. I'm sure they've found whatever goodies are in here by now, surely. This portcullis has proved quite the issue for us.
And these other lads, are they as capable as you lot?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good lads. Good, solid lads. I'm surprised Billy hasn't introduced you guys to us before. To be honest, you'd have met them all. They're really good guys.
To be fair, he doesn't feel well.
Yeah, he did go out looking a bit sick. Well, I guess sometimes the adventure in life's not for everyone.
No one in this kingdom seems to hydrate properly. Terrible. I'm going to just, using some form of sign language, attempt to indicate to Percival that we're ready to move on. Just
in a way.
If the chest is empty, yes, I'm disassembling and putting myself back together on the other side of the portcullis.
Yeah, so you can
Flint does not help him with the reassembly. He's done with this.
I think Rai is helping. Rai is going to give him a hand.
Okay, so you you're able to pull him back through the bars piece by piece, and you can see, they're not. The other two aren't. They've got their gold and they start walking out. They're not happy about it. So there is a sort of shaft of sunlight coming through the stairs that illuminates that part, but they've got the torch in hand, so you can feel it getting quite dark. Did you light a torch before you went in?
Yeah.
Okay, so Evelyn has a lit torch. So while they're disappearing up the stairs, You keep your own light source going. As they get up the stairs, you just hear a, what the hell? And they come running back down, and they're like, what sort of wizard trickery is this? They've got empty hands, apart from the one with the torch. And they're just looking at you with pure rage in their eyes.
I look in my bag. Is the coin still there?
Yes, all the coins are still there.
I like, if they allow me to pass, sort of like stomp past them, taking out a coin and holding it like up in my hand. I leaving my bag down.
Okay.
I take this one
So
coin.
the coin in your hand
threshold.
disappears as soon as it sort of comes into contact with the outside.
Is it like gone?
Yeah,
it's just disappeared, vanished entirely.
Yeah, it just seems to have completely disappeared.
Fuck! You hear?
Yeah,
well, like tricks of the moon, and she spits.
A waste of time.
Yeah. All right, seeing yours disappear calms them down. They're like, oh, I thought it was you and you guys and your magic. But seeing yours is gone as well. Oh, I guess it's some cursed bloody magic rubbish. And they look so disappointed.
Flint is going to look to Ryan and say, you know anything about this moonshite then?
All I know is that the moon stands in opposition to the old sun and cannot be trusted.
Just giving her the blankest look. Like, what? And
I think what's going on here is this used to belong to the pagans, as we were told. And there's going to be, I guess, traps, sort of, that we don't expect.
So what? They're trying to waste our time?
As I said, waste of time.
Okay. Well, good effort, Percy. Thank you.
Anytime, and I mean that.
Okay.
He's like the guy where you shake his hand and it's so clammy.
I was thinking he's like the guy who's ready to bring out a guitar at any party. Just as soon as he gets there, he fucking pops off the hand.
You guys like guitar?
Did someone say guitar?
Yeah, we jam out for 8 hours, Jimmy.
Right, yeah. Just Wonderwall on repeat, but on the loop.
Oh, God.
Flint sort of takes a moment to look at the others and like, all right, none of y'all seemed all that fussed about the gold. What exactly are you here for if not to get paid?
As I said, I'm here on behalf of the Dawn Brigade. It is.
I'm here to bring honor to my order.
Why are you here, Flint? You seem to ask a lot of questions.
I like shake the bag of coins, like, isn't it fucking obvious?
Money.
Good one, Percy. Okay. I look at Evelyn and I was like, well, shall we resume our path and see what lies ahead?
Yes, let us run to some more goons.
I don't think we can help these guys anymore.
I cannot wait for the next. I cannot wait for the next goons. I'm so excited.
Sounds genuine. My new friends.
Is it still girlies first then? Through the corridor?
Yeah.
Okay, so you two lead the way through the corridor with the lads behind, through this sort of arched doorway, and come to a junction and can see it leads to the north and south. And you can see there's a room ahead of you to the north, and to the south, you can see that the river flows through that room. You can probably guess that it leads to that other entrance that you saw.
That probably doesn't lead to the other entrance we saw.
I'm already facing, going north. I'm staying away from water.
I think I've got. I think at this point I've got my hand axe, and I'm sort of backing Evelyn up.
Okay.
As we go through.
Right, so you guys want to go up to the north. Are the lads happy with that, following behind?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, and I'll have my crossbow at the ready, just for fun.
Brilliant. So you walk up to the north, and there's a room that stretches off to the east. And it's being held up by several pillars, and there are some alcoves that are within the wall. And you can see that at the other end of the corridor is another door, and there's quite a strong light coming from there. At that end of the room, it also bends off to the south. There's those two exits. Yeah, what are you doing?
Are there traps?
You can inspect the room if you like. It'll take a bit of time to inspect an entire room, so we will roll on that table and see what we get. If you're happy to spend the time to do that.
Yeah, Flint would also be looking at tracks as well, specifically. Like,
Okay.
It's a long stretch here. I'm gonna be cautious.
Yeah,
The gamer
not.
in me- the gamer in me just really wants to roll our morph ball down it every time.
Just use it like a bowling ball and just see if he hits any traps on the way. Okay.
Yeah, I imagine we're probably all aware of the potential danger, but if anyone tries to go past one of the alcoves or the pillars, Flint would probably warn them off until they've inspected at least that much.
Right. Okay. So
I
you
want
go.
to definitely look for any magical type shit.
Right.
For sure. Like.
Yeah, I think we're looking for traps.
Yeah. You cautiously.
Traps and tracks.
Yeah, cautiously go forward, and you do see about this far down the corridor some of the bricks in the floor. There's a slight gap around them in a square shape. You can test it a little and see that it's probably going to give away. It sounds a bit different to the surrounding area. Your footsteps wouldn't feel quite the same. So obviously, you can probably tell there is some kind of trap just sort of here in the middle of the corridor. But you decide to not activate that, given that you were nice and careful as you went through. Obviously, that does take a bit of time. You're having to go slowly through. So we will see if anything occurs as a result. So something did happen as a result. As you're slowly going through, you start to hear a bang and a clang coming from the south. Sort of rhythmic thumping, but then it gets a bit frantic and then a bit more rhythmic again. But it's coming, you can hear it coming from both the corridor, the south part you could have gone to, but also from the other end. It's sort of reverberating around the hallways.
Right? I do not like that.
No, it's a quite off-putting rhythmic noise, huh?
Is it approaching?
It's not approaching, no. It just keeps clanging and banging, and sometimes it takes a slight rest and then starts banging again. You probably notice as well, some of the hits are a lot softer, as if they're being hit something, someone's using maybe a hand to hammer on something and then using a tool of some kind to hammer on it, the same thing. It sounds a little bit different sometimes. But it's coming from quite a way away. It's sort of echoing around the temple.
Evelyn, do we think this is the sound of our next goons?
There may
Perhaps
be
something
some
else.
goonery afoot.
I ate goonery. I ate it.
Who's gooning at this hour?
Who's gooning?
I'll skirt around that trap.
We cautiously approach the gooning.
Right. Well, like I said, you think you could have to go down either southerly corridor to find it, but you're not sure what room it's even coming from at this point. But you're able to go around the trap. Like I said, the trap was sort of there. We'll say that roll gets you, pretty certain there are no other traps, since that's, you said you're specifically searching for those. You think that's the only trap within the corridor.
I was also looking for tracks, so like any muddy footprints or disturbed dust.
Yeah. So okay.
Being a ranger.
So there are definitely muddy footprints leading both into, all the way across the corridor. Some of them are on the trap thing, and those ones do seem to end there. Some of them go into the room at the eastern side where there's a really strong light coming from. And then some curve off down to the south into that room beyond as well.
Is this like is it like a window or like
it's
a door?
It's just a doorway. The
Like a
door is
doorway.
slightly ajar. But it's not completely open.
If we go to the end of the corridor, can we see what's down that southern opening?
Yeah, I'm also going to say, because you took the time to search quite carefully, you would notice that this alcove here, the wall looks slightly different in there. The other ones, they're all quite uniform. And then this one, the brickwork seems a little bit crazy.
This brickwork is crazy.
I touched it.
Crazy brickwork.
Evelyn, you're able to push it open, and there was a door there.
I'm so strong, guys.
And
Wow.
there's a little door on the other end. So you now have sort of three options if you want, when you want to leave this corridor.
Cool, let's split the party, guys.
Well, my instinct would be that if there's a part of this temple they're trying to keep hidden from us, that's probably the place that we want to go to.
Same.
3.
Okay,
Yes,
so
that's four takers for crazy brickwork room.
Right, so you walk to the north then, and there's another door on the other side, and you push it open, and you come out of a large statue into a large circular room. In the north of the room, water is coming from high above, basically the top of the waterfall. Water is coming in through it's sort of a window, but with no glass in it. And there's several other windows leading up to that level as well. Some of them have vines that you think you might be able to climb, assuming they're sturdy enough. And around this sort of crescent-shaped floor that isn't covered in water, there are 6 statues, each of a robed figure looking into the center of the room, and you actually have to step out of one of them. The secret door sort of led through that statue into this room.
Feeling about that water is my weakness choice right about now.
Chosen specifically for the water temple.
Sorry, I will also point out it is early morning. However, through one of those windows to the north, a white beam of moonlight is shining through into the middle of the room, and you can see through that window the moon is up in the sky, despite the fact that it is daylight.
There's another illusion.
In Moon Temple.
Oh yeah, true.
DM question: I know the name of this one shot, but do we know that this is?
Yeah, the king said at the start that it was that the pagan religion was a bunch of moon priests. He said, and then he did say, "You will be going to the temple of the moon priests." Well, basically.
I'm nervous about Percival being in the temple of no weird fucking assholes.
What do you mean?
Is there anything distinct about the statues? Like, do they look to signify different figures or have any notable differences?
They all are quite uniform, except for the one that has a door through it. But if you put the once you shut that door, they all look completely the same.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start examining the statues.
This was a place of rituals.
Okay, you can examine the statues. So, Rye's doing that. What's everyone else up to while she looks over the statues?
I'm gonna take a pebble or something and see if I can throw it into the water where the moon is, see if it and also just another part of the water to see if there's any difference in how it disturbs it or.
Okay, so that's fine. What's Percival doing?
I suppose I'll examine any other part of the area thoroughly. We haven't looked for traps or cracks here either.
Okay. And Evelyn?
Where's the beam coming from?
So the beam's coming from the north. There's a few windows in the north, so there's that one there, obviously with the water coming through, and there's another one sort of here-ish, and a beam is coming down, and it's basically going through the length of the room, just this strong beam of moonlight.
Hey, Flint, how about you chuck one of those useless coins in the pool, see if it does anything.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
Okay, so you take a coin out and throw it. We'll go through everything that everyone just said as well, but we'll do this one first. It spins through the air, and you notice that once it's high enough to receive the light from the window, not the moonlight, but just the outside light from the sun, it disappears again. But then you would assume it's just disappeared. Then it reappears sort of a quarter of a second later in the moonlight beam, and then drops back into the water.
And the water just behaves like water?
It just behaves like water. It doesn't seem overly deep. You do notice, especially since a few of you were searching around, the water seems to be draining out, probably from underneath where you came in. So it's not overly deep. You think it might reach your knees. Also, since you were searching, like I said, you do find there are vines that lead up to those windows that would get you sort of to the waterfall level if you were to attempt to climb them. But none of the statues, like I said, doesn't seem to be any traps. Doesn't seem to be any kind of anything like that.
Money that disappears easily and is found in a dungeon. It's almost like some sort of cryptocurrency.
Boo.
Drawing Rye. I mean, is there anything of note that we haven't looked at yet?
Nope, those are the things you see. So you see the statues, see the windows, the moonlight. And then as you are searching, a sort of shadow appears from one of the statues and sort of detaches itself from the statue, and it takes much the same shape, and it has a sickle in hand and floats towards you threateningly.
Towards any of us in particular? Or?
I'll say you threw the coin, it starts surging towards you.
Alright, first of all it's going to be like, oi, 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 pointing towards this thing. Is the shadow like? Is it forming as a 3D shape from the wall, or is it like
so it's kind of become sort of like it looks like a spectre, like a dark spectre, and it sort of gives a scream almost. Once you speak, you try and stop it, it just kind of goes like as it flies towards you.
I'm going to see if I can, while maintaining my distance as much as possible, try and put the beam of moonlight between us. If the water's like shallow enough to move through, I'll do that. Okay. But otherwise, I'll slide along the wall.
Excellent. You sort of, twist so that you'd have to go through the beam to get to you, and as it touches the beam, it disappears.
Right. Well, I don't like this fucking place.
I was wondering if we'd get our first combat roll then, but you avoided it pretty much perfectly.
Does my torch act normal in here?
Yeah, your torch is fine. It just acts completely as you would expect.
But Evelyn does whip out her iron dagger.
Right. Okay.
Suppose we could take leave of this place or attempt the vines.
I think maybe we should try another room.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so do you want to leave out through the way you came?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go back out. I assume Girlie's first, and you're in the hallway that you saw before with the trapped square that you chose not to stand on. As before, there is a room full of light to the east, and then to the south there is a room with no light coming from it. You can still hear this sort of rhythmic-ish thumping coming from the south.
Has it changed in its like tempo, or like I know you said it goes from like rhythmic to a bit scattered, but like is it like consistent, or is it slowing? Is it?
It's every now and again it just sort of stops for a second, and then sort of comes back all the more frantic, and then slows down, eventually stopping, and then sort of repeating that pattern.
Evelyn, should we?
Go this...
Yes, I think it's time to understand the source of this noise, huh?
Yep, good with that.
You want to head down to the south?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so you peer down this corridor, and the corridor goes down into an opening. So there's a room. It's covered in like cobwebs, and there is a font in the middle of the room. It's got a sort of purpley water inside of it, and as soon as you step in the room, you just hear like a and on the ceiling is what at first you would just think is a huge spider, but then you notice that while its face is that of like a man-sized spider, one of its legs is a human leg, one of the back ones, and one of its front arms is a human arm, but the rest of the legs are normal spider legs. It's wearing sort of clothes that appear to have ripped and are sort of almost falling off of it, and it hisses and mandibles outstretch as it sees you enter the room.
Percy, is this a friend of yours?
Oh man, the idea I just had. There's a lot to take in here. Is it approaching us at all? It's not.
No, it's like stuck to the ceiling above this font. The ceilings aren't that tall. They're probably about, let's say 15 foot high. All 8 of its eyes are trained on you. It's just staying above this font of water.
Can I see if there's a connection with the purple water and Spider-Man?
So just looking at them, you can tell he seems to be guarding it, or it seems to be guarding it. If you even put a foot forward towards it, it hisses again. But if you step back or step into the corner of the room, it doesn't hiss, it doesn't look aggressive. It's just staying above this font of water as if it really wants you to stay away.
Every part of me wants to combine Percival with Spider.
A couple questions.
As a spider.
First of all, are there any other doors in the room that we can immediately see?
So there's a door to the south. It's a similar archway door. And then the only other exit is the one you came through.
Right. And the clothes on the man spider, are they similar to what the other goons and their cat wizard fella? Like,
you would say the cat wizard fella was wearing like sort of blue robes, but the 2 goons you've seen, they were wearing quite simple clothes. And yeah, you would say the spider, they look like torn versions of that. Yeah, absolutely. They're very similar to the 2
like
fellas.
Common rough wire type stuff.
Yeah, they look like sort of bandits, and it's very similar gear. It's it's the most hardy gear they can find at a good price.
Is the sound still going on?
Yes, it's a bit louder now in this room. Not because it's being done any louder, but just because you're a bit closer.
And are there any splashes of this liquid around the font or over the rim?
Yes, there are. On your side of it, you can see like some drips on the floor, and that side of the rim of the font is where, yeah.
Yeah, I think that we had someone who had one drink too many here, Flint says to the others. Evelyn, you know about your potions and your whatnots?
Don't drink that. She is pulled back into herself. She's like holding herself, and she definitely took steps back, probably bumping into whoever's behind her.
She bumps into me and my hand falls off.
At this point, I'm used to that. I'm seeing worse shit right now.
Flynn is going to try and like sidle in along the wall, sort of closer towards the direction of the door, but he's going to be very, very careful, very, very tentative. If the spider reacts, if it like gets like aggressive or like riled up, he's going to pull back.
As you take a step in, you see his mandibles flex a little bit. But then as you sort of stick to the wall and you're quite careful and you're not approaching the font, they retract and it just watches you carefully move around the room. As you get closer to the door at the south, it doesn't move. In fact, its eyes keep flicking between you and the guys at the northern entrance.
Seeing Flint successfully skirt the issue, I think I'll follow along.
Yeah, same reaction. He just continues to watch carefully. If you sort of at any point stumble towards it, even in just the slightest bit, you see it react, but then as it realizes, oh no, they're not coming towards my font, it just lets you go.
Yeah.
I really want to go towards it though.
Why?
I'm not going to. I'm going to tiptoe. Because I don't want to step on any shit there.
Okay. Are all four of you doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way all the way around and it continues to watch you, but it does not approach you or seem aggressive in any way. You see a long corridor that stretches down to the south further, and beyond it, you can see what appears to be a library. There are books that you can see. There's some on the back walls in big bookshelves, and there's sort of a pit in the middle of the floor, and books have been arranged in bookshelves around the edges of this pit, and there is an exit to the west.
How much torch have we got left?
It's still going strong. So when I said you will roll if you start like spending a long time doing anything, it can blow out as a result of that. So far, it's going strong, hasn't been blown out. You're secure in your light at the moment.
Okay.
I assume the two ladies are leading, so you see this library. What are you two doing since you get there first?
Can I read the language?
So there is a book out in the bottom of this pit.
Going to pit y'all by.
You get yourself into the pit,
up.
and you see that it seems to be a journal. There's a lot of religious stuff going on about the moon and how she's the one true goddess and things like that. And then there's also just the day-to-day lives of some monks, you know, what they get up to. But you do notice a line that says, "When Artemis is doused in moonlight, the treasury shall open." And that line stands out to you in particular.
I will say that out loud.
Do we recognize was the name Artemis?
Yeah, you do not recognize the name Artemis. Not a name you've ever heard before, and you wouldn't bump into an Artemis. You think maybe your granddad's granddad might have bumped into an Artemis on the street occasionally, but you don't recognize. Like, the name's fallen out of fashion for quite a long time.
Is there any pictures?
Artemis, I hardly know her.
Good one, Flint. When I was looking at the statues, I know we sort of got interrupted. Did Artemis appear on any of them?
There were no names or anything on them, no.
None of them looked like an Artemis.
One of them had a big Artemis energy, but you can't remember which.
Is
there a vibe?
Artemis vibes.
Also, the thumping is now coming from the east, and it sounds very close.
Oh, while they're inspecting, I'm gonna go take a look down that eastern. I can't read, so I'm gonna look down the east and see what I can see.
Okay. You see a very small corridor, and as you look round, you come into a new room that looks to be some kind of, maybe like a council chamber. It's a tiered room, several tiers, all with ruined chairs around it. And right at the bottom, the river actually flows in from the west and disappears into sort of a hole in the floor in the middle of the room. At the very north of the room, there is a large door with the symbol of the moon. And in front of it is a man with large antlers growing out of his head. And he is thumping and thumping on this door. And one of his hands is a human hand. And you see that it's like bleeding slightly. And one of his hands has a hoof. And he's smacking it with this hoof sometimes as he tries in vain to get into the door in the north.
We have a body horror tag on this stream.
We've had animal people and Percival. Oh, I'll say as well.
Good band name, call it.
Animal people and Percival. Here on this side, the water flows in. It's quite high above though, and the water is flowing down in a small waterfall. You would probably be able to work out that that's the one that room at the beginning that you didn't go in. You had a choice to go down there, but chose not to. And you can sort of see up into it, and that's the case. But reaching it from this room would require, well, a lot of effort to try and climb up that waterfall. Everyone besides Flint is still in the library room. Flint, on the other hand, is looking into this ruined council chamber, just right at the entrance, and seeing this sort of stag man smacking on this door. Since Flint just wandered in there, the other three of you, you've obviously seen this book. Evelyn's conveyed its message. What are you guys up to?
Do you repeat its message real quick?
Yes, I can. It is, when Artima is drowned in moonlight, the treasury shall open.
I will just have followed Flint and also have seen what's going on in there.
Okay, you go and follow Flint, and you see this guy banging on the wall. And I made sure I definitely added those last two words, Glenn. Evelyn and Rai, what are you guys up to?
Evelyn, I think this. Do you know anything about this Artima?
You don't. You don't know anything.
I think this is much too old for me to know.
I see. It is a shame. Shall we catch up with the boys?
Yes, they left us. It was very rude.
So,
and without a torch, we have the only light. So
I will say in this room, there is a shaft of light coming from where the river's coming from. However, it would be dim. Like the stag man would be sort of clouded in shadow, probably making him all the more unsettling, to be honest, as you look on. But then these two come up behind and the torchlight illuminates the room. And when that happens... Oh, go on.
Sorry.
No, yeah, go for it.
On seeing a stag, I immediately pull a bone dagger out and get in a very defensive, combat-ready stance.
Okay.
Instantly.
Well, as the torchlight shines and this light appears behind him, turns around and he looks quite frantic. He looks slightly insane, really, as he's been banging on this door. And then all of a sudden there's a shudder runs through him and his arms fall to his side. He looks at you, Rai, and this huge grin appears on his face. And then he looks to Evelyn and the grin remains. He looks at Flint, big toothy grin. And then he sees Percival, and then the shudder happens again, and he goes banging back on the wall again.
Well, friends, I don't know what to think about that.
Rai is all of the sort of chippiness has gone from her. She's somewhere between anxious and aggressive, I don't know, mode. It's not hidden from anybody. Everyone can see that she's disturbed by this.
Yeah, well, drawing his bow and slowly knocking an arrow, he looks aside to Ryan and says, "You know this fella?"
I think I do. Maybe I don't know, but it has brought back some unpleasant memories. I've still got the dagger in hand, and I'm probably not moving forward towards it, just seeing what happens.
Right. Okay. Evelyn or Percy, what are you up to in that moment?
I just suggest to the party, well, friends, must confront this creature or the one above the font, or sneak back into the well-lit room up to the north. It seems we have to confront some danger some way, and this one right in front of us is a most enticing mystery.
Does this seem somewhat similar the spider situation?
Yeah, because the spider had two human limbs and clothes falling off of him that sort of ragged. I would say this guy has similar clothes that are they're sort of ripped and torn a little bit, not as badly, because they didn't have 6 extra legs come out of him. But he has one human arm and one of his hands ends in a hoof. So, yeah, you would think there's sort of a similar situation going on there.
How would you describe the door that he's banging on?
So it's a large stone door. It has a big moon symbol on it. It has no handle. It fits very snugly into the surrounding brickwork, and there's no visible way to open it.
Companions, do we think that might be the treasury?
And I think that the chamber to the north that we came from is where we find the moonlight. So I think the last component we're looking for here is Artemer.
What do we want to do about our friend here?
Say hello.
Go on, Percy.
You know what, Percy?
Say hello.
You want to? Yeah, you say hello. You seem to be good at making friends.
Okay.
I think yes.
If we're all agreed, I'll do it. I'll be at the forefront of the party, but still, cautiously by the corner of the door, and I'll venture a hello.
So it stops banging again and turns around, and there's no shudder. It just looks at you, and it tries to say something, and I don't know what noise a stag makes, but it makes that noise. Yeah, I imagine like a sort of donkey-esque noise as it turns. As it turns towards you.
They have like really deep, hunky voices. They go.
That's the exact noise.
That's a very sick, stag.
Well, I think that
even while playing a stag, you're sickly.
Yeah, I would say that's actually probably accurate then. Yeah, it does this sort of noise as it looks at you, and then it shudders again, and its eyes go clear, and it says in a sort of raspy voice, "I do not know of you. The forest is not aware of you. But the forest, it knows of your companions. It knows of you all." And then the shudder happens again, and then you just hear that noise again, and it looks sort of frightened and confused.
Okay, I know this fucker. I have history with him, but I don't know.
Do enlighten us, Rye.
Rye's like, takes a moment, and he's like, I was guarding the fields in my village, and this adult demon, it lured me away from my duties and tried to kill me. And as a result, I no longer have those duties, let us say.
As someone who would have been trained in woodscraft and ranging, and probably a bit about the lore of the woods in general, looking at the creature and hearing Rye describing its behavior, its modus operandi, does that sound familiar to anything I would have learned?
Yeah. So you think there are sort of two things going on there, because the vault, it's got its own sort of will, and it might manifest in different ways, and you would have been told to watch out for things like that. If you venture too deep, if you disturb too much, these things might come out from the vault. And, villagers nearby, ones with fields to protect, for example, may be preyed upon by such like spirits, such avatars of the forest. And you might have even seen something similar. It might not have come in the form of a stag, it might have come in the form of something else. You wouldn't associate that with this transforming man as much. You've never heard of them transforming them in any sort of way. You'd think that something strange is going on there. However, yeah, what Rye says is something that will be familiar to you.
So does this seem like the creature we're looking at now seems something other? It's not like a wood apparition.
The way it spoke then reminded you of that kind of thing, and the way that they talk. But those two sort of different voices that it has, when it talks to you in that raspy voice, that certainly seems to be something to do with that. I think you would know that. But then when it's just bashing on this treasury door, you're not sure if that's got anything to do with that.
Yeah, I'm going to sort of relate that it's similar but potentially different, and some force in this place I think is transforming our adventuring predecessors. Part of me just wants to put this creature out of its misery, unless is any of you adept enough in the magics to know a way to pacify it or even understand it.
So Evelyn did make a comment that it seems these souls are lost, and she's talking about this one and the spider guy.
So I didn't hear it.
But talking she does now, she has a shake in her voice and tears in her eyes. She's not like full on crying, but this is very emotional for her.
You have some history with this creature?
No. The force, yes, but not this specific thing. It's just what can happen to a person. I'm thinking the door is in relation to last thoughts. So the last human thoughts, like of trying to get into the treasury type thing.
So
She's
perhaps
pretty shaken up.
Flint replies, so perhaps that spider creature we saw had some last thoughts of getting whatever liquid was in that font as well. Perhaps that's why it's guarding it so closely. I was hoping to avoid having to deal with creatures of the woods, but I reckon we have to get...
Perhaps it was not just guarding, but keeping us from drinking? If it ties to their fate.
Perhaps we should explore the other chamber first. We might have to deal with this creature eventually, but I do believe that chamber is probably where we're trying to head.
I wasn't happy to move along, and I think Raya's going to start backing out of the room, but backwards, looking at the creature holding the dagger.
So Raya's heading back into the library. Is anyone else following along?
Yeah, I'll go with.
Okay. And the other two?
I will go as well.
I'm giving one more glance, trying to see if I see someone there.
Yeah, you don't recognize the person, but as you look at it and you like inspecting it, it has that shudder again, and it just looks over its shoulder and grins at you, and then continues banging on the door.
Yeah, I abruptly leave.
Okay, you're back.
I'll wipe my face coming in.
You head back into the library.
And we're probably going to continue on up to other room.
You head back to the font room, and once again, the spider thing is still there on the roof, and it recognizes you and doesn't hiss since you didn't try and do anything last time.
You know what? While we're on the threshold, it's looking at us. I'll do it again. Hello?
It just goes and its mandibles out stretchy as it does.
Okay.
Okay, you want it to just sort of shimmy around like...
Yeah, we'll skirt around again, I guess.
Okay, you shimmy around back, and it doesn't move, it just swivels on the ceiling watching you. And you head back to this doorway and look into a room, and you see that in this chamber, there are 4 alcoves, little antechambers around the room, and in the middle is a great cauldron, and it is shining so bright, but it's not like the light of your torches. It feels like the white sunlight, that you would expect on a sunny day. And also, actually now I've remembered, anyone carrying coins feels their pockets get a lot lighter.
I look for my coins and see what's in there.
Yeah, anyone who took coins from the first room, your coins are not in your pocket.
Boys or sunlight plays.
And if I step back out, does my bag suddenly get heavier again?
No, it doesn't.
Ooh.
Yeah. Flint says, well, not getting paid that way. The cauldron, can you describe it?
Yeah, so it is a huge black cauldron in the middle of this room, and around it is a symbol of the sun that's sort of been carved into the floor, and there's a great fire in this cauldron. Smoke is sort of drifting out through some holes in the ceiling.
Rai says a little prayer to the Lord Sun, just like God.
Is there any text around the cauldron?
No text or anything. You're all sort of in the entranceway, I would guess. You can all sort of see it. But yeah, there's no text, there's no anything like that, at least not. You can't see anything from this sort of angle. All you can see is this symbol of the sun on the floor.
Yeah, Flint's going to take some time to inspect the area as best as possible,
Right,
being
okay.
careful for any misshapen half-animal creatures there might be in here.
As you start investigating, from all 4 of those antechambers, a robed figure comes from each and is stumbling towards you, and you can hear like a sort of rattling as they do. Each has got a crescent blade aloft.
What did you do?
Nothing. It's just I immediately knock an arrow, and
Right.
if anyone approaches me threateningly, I intend to shoot.
Okay, that's fine. Right, I think that puts you in combat. And
Yay.
all 4 of you need to do me a dexterity saving throw.
I did it.
You don't roll initiative in Cairn. How it works is if you roll a dexterity saving throw and you pass, you go first. If you don't, you have to wait till they go, and then it just goes you, them, you, them, you, them, you, them, until everyone is dead, really. So out of those, who passed? Or did you all pass?
Is it pass if you hit the same number as you
Yeah, meets it, beats
fair?
it, just like, yeah, in most of the things. Yeah, if you hit it, you're fine, as long as you don't go over it.
Okay, I succeeded then.
Yep, under.
Right, you're all fine. So there's 4 of them all shuffling towards you. You see now under the robes is just a skull, and the hands are skeletal as well, each holding this crescent blade aloft. So they're each coming from each alcove, so we'll say that's number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So you each just need to tell me what you're going to do. So I'll go down in the order that you rolled it. So PB, what's your plan as this thing comes towards you?
Attempt to shoot the head of the furthest one, see if that stops
The
it.
furthest one, so I'd say number 2, probably. This one here. Okay. And Mega, what is Rai doing?
You can do 2 weapon attacks, can't you?
If you've got a weapon in each hand, you can do both, and it's just whichever you roll highest with counts as the damage.
Okay. I'll do hand axe and dagger on a different creature.
Okay, this one will probably get to you first, so number 4. What is Evelyn doing?
Bit. I guess I'll try my iron dagger.
Okay, which one would you go for? Number 1 and number 3 have not been touched. Number 1 would probably get to you first.
I probably won then.
Okay, and finally, Percy, what are you up to?
I have held my crossbow this whole time. I will aim it at, I think 3 is unaimed at.
That is correct.
I think it's wise
So, yeah,
to
once
spread our
again for
attacks,
chat,
so, yeah.
in D&D, you probably used to, like, everyone goes after one goblin or whatever and tries to kill it as quickly as possible. How it works in Cairn is that if you all attack the same guy, whoever does the most damage is the one that hit and everyone else misses. Other than that, you don't ever miss. If you roll an attack, you have hit. So, PB, we'll do yours first then, since you're all attacking different guys. You fire your arrow, so can you give me the roll for that?
Can I actually try and target his leg instead?
Yeah, you can target his leg. So you got a 6. Okay, and how it works is in Cairn is that you have HP, which stands for hit protection, and if you run out of hit protection, you have to do a roll to see if you die, basically. And it did not have 6 hit protection, so let's see if it survived. A 17, it did not. You fire an arrow straight at this skeleton, and the arrow catches it right at the top where the leg meets the pelvis, and it collapses in just a pile of bones. The thing that it was holding, the crescent blade, just goes spinning off across the floor. Mega, you were gonna stab one with a hand axe. 5. Wow, you guys are hitting good. You run over this one that's approaching you, I believe it's number 4, comes at you, and you swing your axe at it. Oh my god, they're not doing very well. You cleave through, the sort of across its rib cage. Bones just fly off in different directions, and that one is also dead.
Jimmy, can we say you've got to decide on this? Like, if I use the bone knife on this creature, does that mean its special ability is activated?
Remind me of its special ability.
The next attack, it does more damage.
If it kills something, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll say that. Yeah, that thing. There were little pinpricks of light within its skull that have gone out, and it has died again. The next attack with that will be enhanced. So basically, it becomes a D12 for the next hit. Evelyn, you've got a knife. 1 is running at you. A 5. Wow, you guys are rolling really, really good. Let's see. A 17 again. This thing comes at you. You decapitate it with your knife, and it falls in a pile of bones. Percival, will you just destroy the last of them with your crossbow?
Let's find out. Not bad.
Oh, yeah.
That's enough to see if it needs to do its
17, Jimmy.
Ooh.
It
Fucking hell, Percy.
This crossbow bolt pings into it and takes a chunk out of it, but ribs shatter, but it lurks on, and it's going to attack you with its crescent blade. And You lose 1 hit point, I assume, because you manage to catch it in the shoulder, taking the weight out of its swing, and it manages to scrape across you with the tip of its blade. It's all your goes now. I'm going to say, Percy, since you're the closest to it, what do you do?
Do I have to reload my crossbow or anything? I guess
it doesn't. No, I don't think there's anything about reloading in this. You can fire it again if you like.
Okay, I will retreat. Bye. Someone else handle it.
Okay, Percy leaves the room.
I need chat to understand. I took 1 HP damage there. I have 2 HP to start our quest today.
Yep.
My God.
He has the lowest hit protection of any of us. One of you. Okay.
He's gonna go all to pieces.
Percy ducks out the room. Evelyn, what do you want to do? Was that your action? Oh, you got it. Oh, right. Okay, you're rolling. Flint.
Yeah, get closer now. I'll whip out the old serrated dagger and just try and jam it in the skull.
Nice one. You can roll that if you like. And what's Rye doing?
Probably would attack it, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
But this time with a hand axe.
With the hand axe. Okay, yeah, roll your hand axe. And we'll see who hit it. Okay, so basically, you all go to protect your friend who's just taking this swipe as he backs out of the room, and you all sort of fall on it. But it is ultimately Flint's blade that catches it, doing 4 damage, and it doesn't have any hit points left, so it's going to have to roll. You manage to sever its spine and it falls down in a lump on the floor of bones. All of them are dead. You are out of combat.
Honestly, compared to most of the things in this bloody place, that they are pretty okay.
Well fought, my
Percy?
friends.
Are you okay?
I shall be fine. I'm half as good as I was before, but I'm twice the man of most.
Yeah, Flint, decidedly unconcerned about the fate of Percy, is kneeling down by the most recently slain skeleton. Gonna inspect the knife, inspect the robe. Are the robes familiar at all?
The robes look very similar to the statues that you've seen and the ones that were in the sort of waterlogged room. He has a crescent blade. You can use it if you want. It's a D8 if you wish to use that.
No, I'll take that.
There's 4 of them. And each one has a crescent medallion around their neck, in the shape of a crescent moon that's strung around their neck on a piece of string.
Is
Really hope that crescent blade disappears as soon as we go outside.
Is the amulet, is it inscribed?
No, it's just the shape of a crescent moon. You think it'd probably be worth a few gold if you wanted to flog it later, but maybe 5 gold, something like that.
We'll stuff it in the bag. The robes aren't blue, are they, on these fellas?
No, they're not. They're sort of dusky purple.
So, what do we think about this cauldron?
I wonder if the cauldron is, or perhaps holds, the thing that we need to douse in moonlight.
Well, it's either this or... Well, look, I had a thought. If dousing it in moonlight does one thing, what does dousing it is Artemisa in sunlight do?
Well, the inscription was, we douse the gate in moonlight to... Or was it douse Artemer in moonlight and the path shall open?
It was, when Artemer is drowned in moonlight, the treasury shall open.
Very specific word there.
Yeah. What happens if we put a torch in the cauldron?
It lights.
Do we light a torch?
Yeah, it lights.
Okay. Does it have the same light as the cauldron light, like sunlight light, or does it have normal light?
No, it catches fire, but it has normal light from it, the light of a fire.
I would like to yoink a pendant.
Yep, you can add
in a cauldron.
Yeah, you can... Oh, and put it in the cauldron, was that, sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it in the fire. The string goes up. The crescent itself doesn't. It just seems to heat up while it's in there. Nothing in particular happens, though.
Can I note any source or fuel of the fire?
No, you would probably think it's magical in nature and that it's sort of self-immolating. It's self-fueling. You know, there aren't any like sticks or coals or anything at the bottom of the fire.
Right. I reckon this fire probably can't be doused by... Jimmy, is it out of character for my dude to be like able to figure shit out?
If you think you would figure it out, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, one of the things that Cairn does say as well is don't just think about what your character would do, think about what you would do. So I'll say that if you figure something out, that's absolutely fine if you think your character would do so.
Does the font in the other room look liftable?
Yeah, heavy. It'll be heavy, but yeah, it's not bolted to the ground or anything.
My thinking is that dicing this flame is probably our best next step, but given that it looks magical, I imagine that the means of doing that is probably going to be magical too.
Do we have anything
Jimmy, that can transport water?
Yeah, you would have like a water skin
Okay.
or something of that description.
Rye is going to fill a water skin with the water that is in the moonlight.
Oh, in the other room. Okay, yeah, you fill that up.
Do we want to try this, or do we want to try and get the pedestal from our many-limbed friend?
I reckon that we try the method that doesn't involve potentially one of us getting killed by some sort of spider freak first.
Yeah, I like
Sorry,
that option.
I just if you probably had to step into the water. I'll just say, because you've stepped in and you'll have had to, the moonlight will have shone on you from a window. You can see on the top of the waterfall is another statue, much larger, that's similar to the ones around you. You would definitely see that as you're filling up the water, since you'd have to step in to do so.
So saying that I can see a moon symbol.
Yeah, so through the window, so the moonlight's coming through that window from the top of the waterfall, and at the top of the waterfall itself is a much larger statue that's outside of the temple. You would assume you would have seen had you climbed up the waterfall.
Does it look the same as the other ones, or is it
yeah, you can like sort of keep shifting your duck down a bit to see the top of it. You notice this one is lifting a crescent blade aloft.
I report this to the team.
Perhaps, friends, the reflection of the sunlight on a moon is not so dissimilar from reflection of the sunlight on the moon. Perhaps we can create our own moonlight via sunlight.
Okay. How are you suggesting we do this?
Well, we have medallions that we've recently acquired. We have a source of sunlight, but I don't know how to get it to where we need. There was a small bit of sunlight. The chamber that led into the final chamber.
I have a method of creating sunlight for 1 hour. We can try it.
So, whenever I asked everyone what we could do and what skills we brought in, this was the kind of the thing I meant, Rye.
My character sheet says deceitful. So, yeah, Percy, what's the plan that you've got in mind?
Well, if you can produce sunlight and we can reflect it off a moon, perhaps it'll work. Otherwise, I've nothing left. This font of poison is sure curious. It stands opposed against this cauldron of fire. I don't know how they relate.
So I'm gonna use that character. So Taylor, you're saying we make sunlight in the room with a pool and like try and reflect it up at the statue? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
In the room with the deer man.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, on the moon door.
Treasury door, yeah.
Oh, well, since we're in this room first, can we just try using the water from the moonlight room? That you
Yeah,
filled
I'm
up
kind of
the
on
fire?
that camp where dropping that water onto
Okay.
the...
Yeah, we start there, Jimmy. Like,
Okay, so you're going to tip your
pours out
water skin full of water from this room with all the statues into the fire of the sort of sunlight cauldron.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of a fizz. That's it.
Perhaps the font?
Nice fizz, really.
Really satisfying fizz, huh?
Flint is going to, rather in a no-nonsense manner, knock another arrow on the bow, make his way into the font room, directly towards the font, and if the spider moves, he is shotting. If he lunges for him, I should say. Not if he's
he absolutely lunges. Are you guys following?
I will follow.
Yeah, okay. What about the other two?
Follow well behind, but I'm seeing what's happening.
Okay,
Following. Yeah.
right. Everyone roll me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Damn it.
Ah.
I'm sick of not shooting this fucking spider dude.
Oh, fuck me.
Right.
Oh,
this. Oh, that works.
Good rolls, man.
You fucked us, Flint.
That, that works very well in the fiction of this. So only PB pass, which means that because you're going front, sort of storming ahead with your bow, and these three are sort of catching up behind. And as this thing
himself
hisses and leaps from the ceiling towards you, you fire your bow. So go for it. 1 damage. Okay, so it rushes towards you, and the arrow hits it in sort of one of its legs, but it doesn't sort of break its stride, and it sinks its fangs deep into your shoulder for 3 damage. So you lose.
Is that subtracting the armor that I've got?
No, so you subtract your armor. How much armor have you got?
2.
So you will take 1 hit point because you have 2 armor. 2 armor is quite a lot. You can only have a maximum of 3 in Cairn, but armor is taken off from any damage. So you take 1 hit point of damage.
Specifically using my big ass thick white bow as a shield.
Yeah. So you can sort of like, as it leaps, you fire, and then you manage to like sort of knock it off balance a little bit, but it just manages to catch you a little bit, but not too badly with its fangs. Okay, everyone gets to go. So PB, what are you doing?
While fending it off with the bow, I'll grab my crescent dagger that I took from the other room and try and jab him directly in the big fucking spider face.
Brilliant. Rye, what are you doing? You've now caught up.
That's a D8, isn't it?
It is a D8, yeah.
I guess I will also attack with the hand axe.
Okay, you go with your hand axe. You can roll that as well. Evelyn?
I want to use my spell, but I think it'd fuck up things. So I'm afraid I'm just going to get in the way.
You don't have to do anything if you don't want to.
I'm going to have an antitoxin at the ready.
Okay. And Percy?
I will try to attempt an attack with my crossbow.
All right, brilliant. Oh, so
Smack them.
with this thing's sort of wrestling you and trying to bite into you, Flint, you can't quite get a stab at it, but you do manage to swing it towards your friends. And this arrow flies over and shoots it in the back. And it got a 6. Oh, okay. So what happens in Cairn is if you lose all your hit points, anything over the top of that is taken away from your strength. I'm happy to tell you it's got 12 strength. So it gets reduced by a further 5, down to a 7. So it just passes. It's going to try and sink its teeth into you again. Oh, you got a 5, so you have 2 armor. So you take 3 hit points worth of damage. This time, it sort of screeches out as his arrow lands in its back, and it then rears forward and sinks its teeth into your shoulder.
Yeah, I'm not danger territory, but I'm sad about it.
Right. Are you all attacking it again except for Evelyn? Is anyone doing anything different?
I'm kind of rooting for the spider at this point. Yeah, no, I'll attack.
Yeah, Sam's gonna stab.
That's fine. Anyone who's attacking, give me a roll. Evelyn, what are you up to?
Can I use my herb pouch?
Yeah, absolutely.
I tried looking for it. I don't even know how I got it.
Yeah.
I can't find how that works.
So Ken's pretty vague on those kind of things intentionally. So what are you trying to sort of cook up here to assist?
I guess anything regarding health or armor, if that's...
So I think you'd have to sort of brew a full. You'd probably have to brew a full-on potion to be able to do that. I'd say you'd be able to mix them maybe in a way to. You've got various alchemical components. Maybe you could say that, you know, if you mix a certain herb with a certain chemical that you might have, you might be able to make something that might bark or something that would like make it so that if it gets another attack, it would be at a the word isn't disadvantage in this game. I forgot what the word is, but it would only do a D4 instead of a D6.
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, you mix those together, waiting for it to start its bite. So PB, you actually...
I've already rolled, but do you mind if I change what I do?
Go on, what do you want to do?
I have repellent. Now, you're meant to say what it, like, kind of repellent, but there wasn't any list for it, so I just put mugwort. Can I try and use repellent on it? See if I can, like, get it to start off a bit.
Yeah, okay. So we'll do the damage first, and I'll say that you two have do your thing after that. So PB, you got the most. You're 7. Oh, shit. Well, after all that, that's exactly how much health it has, how much strength it has left. So it goes down to 0 strength, so it doesn't even get to roll. It just dies. And so PB, you managed to get your knife into it this time, right in its like the middle section of the spider where its human heart would be, and it sort of thrashes with all of its legs, some of them human, some of them spider, and it shrivels up as spiders do when they die, and it is dead.
Jimmy, does hit protection return
so
after
how it works is if you take a short rest, which means I will roll on that table, you can try and get your hit protection back. Strength would require like a full day's rest or a healing item, but I don't think any of you have lost any strength yet.
It's a great image. The spider's legs are basically hydraulic. It's where they curl up, but human limbs aren't. So the spider legs will be curled up, but the human limbs are just sticking straight out.
Yeah, this is like fuck's sake, and just like shove the spider body off him.
Okay, you throw that. Yeah, you throw that off you. The font is ahead of you. Yeah, what are you guys doing?
All right. And if you want to help me hoist this thing in here?
Well, can we give it a good close-up once over, real quick? Looking at it.
Yeah, you
want to Can I smell this liquid? What's it smell like?
It smells probably a bit feisty at this point. It's sort of a purpley colour. Yeah, it's got this earthen smell that reminds you of wild animals.
If I take my torch and like jam it in there, roll around a bit, if it can reach the bottom without my hand touching,
Oh yeah, it can.
maybe
Yeah,
like move around the bottom, and then pull the torch back out. Any effect? Anything untoward? Anything noticeable?
No. The torch looks fine, if not a bit wet. You'd have to dry it off now before you used it. But no, otherwise it's fine. The water in the font swirls a bit, but doesn't seem to have any proper effect on it.
Either of you, seemingly magical lass, is able to tell if this is magic or not.
Is this magic?
It seems a bit magic-y, yeah. You wouldn't know what it can do, but
I can only assume it's magic.
Yeah, you certainly get a magic-y vibe.
All right. Well, if everyone is happy, I'm gonna try and start lifting it towards our other flaming cauldron.
Roy will help.
All right, with two of you, I'd say you can do it without any kind of rolls. You can just pick that thing up. And you are...
Get out of the way.
You're able to clonk it along the corridor towards this fiery cauldron. Are you just sort of tipping it over it, I suppose?
Yeah, just looking to others. Any objections to this?
No. We shall
No.
proceed.
You tip out this cauldron, the two of you then, and it splashes over the fire, dies down for a second. The cauldron is now completely empty and the fire spurts back up again.
Well,
Well,
at least no one shall drink of this awful concoction again.
that is true.
So I think it is time to try Percy's solution, no?
I imagine filling this room with sunlight might bother our goat-headed friend down there, so we'd be ready for a battle here as well.
Do we want to go to
so.
the room with the antlered demon, or do we wish to go to the room with the moonlight pool?
Percy's idea was the door, right? Door room, or correct me if I'm wrong.
That is our destination. I can see no more to do in the room with moonlight.
Evelyn?
It did seem rather distraught with the firelight.
All right.
Okay, so you're all heading back down.
Just before we leave, how liftable does the cauldron look? Is it really hot?
That is even heavier, and yes, it's hot. It would be almost impossible to carry, given the heat coming off it, yeah.
Okay.
But you make your way down past the remains of the Spider-Man, who, has some crunched up legs and his two human limbs splayed out, down south into the library and then back to the west into the room. And as you come in, the stag creature is currently puffing and puffing as he takes a slight break between hammering on the door.
So I take out a stick, and it's called a sun stick, and I light it up.
The chamber fills with sunlight, and the creature covers his eyes with his hands for a second and sort of winces and makes that noise that they apparently make and doesn't care for it. And then as his eyes sort of settle, just sort of squints at you guys, but he doesn't move.
Any other changes in the room?
No, you don't notice any other change in the room.
Okay, we have this side for 1 hour. To the pool room?
Yeah.
No, the idea was to hold up a medallion and try to reflect. No?
Okay.
Oh, well, I've got a medallion, so
Okay, so you want to sort of reflect the sunlight off the medallion onto the...
We just mildly annoy the antler man by reflecting sunlight into his eyes.
you keep...
try and Prince of
Except
Persia
while
it towards the
someone's
door.
laughing in the car.
Every time that it shines into his eyes, he covers his eye for a second and continues to squint at you, but he seems a little irritated.
Aiming it at the
Check on
door
the door.
doesn't seem to do anything.
No, nothing changes. And when it hits the door, nothing happens either.
All right,
Is this guy lucid? Can I talk to him? Hello?
When you say hello,
saying hello while shining a light directly at his face.
he shudders again and responds in that voice and just says, "Toy with me while you will. The forest claims all. The forest will claim you all again." And then he shudders again and doesn't appear lucid at all. He looks confused and slightly annoyed.
All right, my thinking is still, whatever we have to draw in moonlight, we have to draw in the pool in the room to the north. We just need to figure out what Artemer is. You said it's like a sort of like forum, like with chairs and stuff.
Yeah, so this room's like a council chamber. There are plenty of chairs all around. They're all a bit ruined and smashed, but they're there.
Any nameplates or anything?
Um,
Any text or
yeah,
symbols?
I think there would be names sort of carved into the chairs, and you look them over, and you do find that one did belong to Artemer.
Can someone
That's
who
that-
can read look at these for me?
That one says Altimer.
The statue that was up in the top, like of the fountain in the pool room
Mhm.
that I saw. How heavy is it? Like huge, massive?
It's massive, yeah. It's like way bigger than the ones in the room. It's like a 30-foot statue.
Okay, Rye's going to go out and try and climb that rope up to the top.
Oh, right, okay. So you take the long way around. What are you guys doing while Rye does that?
Do you tell us what you're doing?
Yeah, I think she would.
He just fucks off. Oh well, someone might want to go with her, but
But not
Well,
me,
we
Flint. Team
the
player.
run of this place. I suppose I'll linger in the library, see if there's anything about Altimer in there.
Okay, you start going
That
through.
was just the journal, right?
Yeah, you start going through some books. What's Evelyn doing?
I don't want her to go alone, but I don't think I could go and do that. I kind of want to go back to the pool room, but there's really nothing I can do. Is there anything I can link together? Like Raydum, Evelyn should be a little smarter.
Okay.
Is there anything that catches my eye?
I mean, I think you would realize that Artemis was a member of this order at some point, but you've not been given any further real information, and you're not sure how you would drown him in moonlight, to be honest, with the information you've got to hand.
Evelyn, you can read. Come with me. I'm gonna head to the fire cauldron room
Okay.
with the skellies. I want to see if any of the robes or if there's anything else on them that might even like
We're
the
looking for their
daggers.
wallets.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Identification,
okay.
social security.
So that's fine. Percy heads into that room and starts looking through books. You guys head to there and start going through their stuff. They seem to be long dead. The robes are faded. And it just seems to be the medallions and the present weapons that they had on them. However, as Rye walks out, you'd think you would have passed two of the knucklebones, and you don't see them anywhere. But you do see the wizard, Bilious. But Bilious is just coughing and spluttering, and you have to sort of pass him to get over to the rope side. And you start to notice that his face is now very hairy, as are his hands.
Puberty.
Looking like Bilious. Brickwork is crazy. Then I'm like, and then I'm like, you didn't happen to take a drink of anything in there, did you?
He says, yes. Oh, I can't resist a magic mystery. His cat's not there anymore. There was some kind of font in there. Me and some of the other boys took a sip.
We found out in there that if you fully submerge yourself in water, it can help delay the effects. I say, lying.
Can you roll me a will check?
Pretty fucked up, I tell you what.
That's a 5. That's a
Oh,
success.
yeah, that's a success. He says, oh, water. Okay, fine.
girl,
What are the effects? What effects?
Sort of the extra air you're growing there, probably not natural, you know. And maybe a little transformation you don't want, huh?
What kind of transformation?
I don't know. It seems to be different every time. You're sort of not any horns growing on you. Maybe it's feeling a little bit like making a cobweb. No?
Oh. Right. And he runs to the side of the water and throws himself in.
Good. I drown him. No, I'm gonna take that opportunity to go and try and climb the rope.
Okay, yeah, can you roll me a dexterity check? And while you're doing that, Percival, you search through several of the books. I'll let you have one round before I start thinking about rolling things. And you do find references to Artemis. He was quite important within the order, one of the main sort of 6 at his time of like the main heads of the council. He doesn't seem to have written his own book though. It seems to be people under him that have done most of the writing.
That makes me feel nothing. All right.
Okay. Cauldron people, you don't find anything amongst the corpses.
Reconvene with Percy and be like,
Okay.
My friends,
Go.
I'm more or less out of ideas. The only remaining clue I have is what I've been thinking about is why does the water run from the moon pool down to the council room? I can't make heads or tails of that. What it might mean for us.
should I go
Okay.
check it out then?
Yeah, we can take another look. I believe there's some vines that could potentially be climbed in the moon room as well. I think that was a thing.
Yep, that was coming from one of the windows. So are you three headed to the moon room?
Yeah.
Okay, and in the meantime, Rye, you passed your check, I believe.
Did.
You managed to climb up, so it was a bit wobbly at the start where one of the pittons has fallen out, but the rope holds as you climb up. You don't think it would have held much more, but it did hold. And you see in front of you, there's a large log that joins the two banks of a large lake, and there's a sort of river feeding into it to the far north that feeds the waterfall, and you can see it going into the moon chamber, the domed room that you were in before. In the middle of the lake is a huge statue. It doesn't have a scythe. I'm guessing whoever made this map didn't have a sickle available. It's holding a crescent-shaped weapon, and it's holding it aloft. It's like got one arm in the air and it's holding it aloft. There are two people who you would pretty much assume are knucklebones by this point, stood on the bank just beyond the log, that bit that sticks out. And you can sort of hear them muttering to each other saying, "Oh, that was, I'm not going in there, it's freezing." And the other one's like, "Come on, go have a look at the statue." He's like, "You look at the statue." And they just seem to be locked in an argument there. Okay, so what are you doing now that you've reached the top?
I'm assuming there's nothing conveniently written on the statue or anything like that.
You have a good stare at the statue, and you can see that on the blade there are something etched on the blade, but it's too far away to read from this distance.
Bilius sent me 5 gold pieces for whoever swims out to examine the statue. He is convinced it is key to unlocking the treasures of this place.
Okay, we'll give their response in a minute. The three of you who aren't Rye arrive in the room with the 6 statues. What are you guys doing in there?
Well, first of all, the statues, we inspected them before. There were no names or anything on them, right?
No, nothing like that.
Okay, I'm going to try to climb the vines then.
Yeah, the vines, they're really overgrown and quite sturdy. It's not like the waterfall. It's gone up into the cliffside, so you're not having to go very high. So you're able to climb out and you come out. I'll say there's a bit of bank that you can get straight onto despite this map. You end up sort of here without having to get wet. Percy's going up as well. Yeah, that's fine. You follow him out. You actually see the same thing. You see this huge statue, and you can see Rye talking to 2 knucklebones across that log. Evelyn, what are you up to?
I'm gonna look at that moonlight. It's daytime now.
Yeah,
right?
it's still daytime. It's probably, it's no longer morning. It's probably like the middle of the day. But the people on the outside can probably see the sun directly above them, but the moon at sort of a bit lower in the sky. And it doesn't seem to have moved all day. It's just shining straight through that window and into the pool.
Can I get to the window?
Yeah, absolutely. Basically one of the ones they climbed out of.
Am I able to, like, is it stuck in stone, or is it something I can move in some way?
No, the window is just basically a hole in there, really.
Okay.
Mega, if you wouldn't mind doing me a will save, please. What's your will?
13.
Oh, wow. So you pass. Okay. So given that you know this guy's name and you mentioned money, one of them shoves the other backwards and dives into the water.
Yes.
And starts swimming over. And as he gets sort of close, you start to hear a strange noise. It's like sort of gurgly voice that you have to sort of strain your ears to listen to it. And you just hear,
"To the sons of man, to woman's daughters, come to me in these crystal waters."
and you see his head just goes under the water and he just disappears.
He's got a head start on you. You'll have to catch him up by snakes to the other goon.
The other one sees that and goes, that's not worth 5 gold.
Yeah, probably true. Okay. So do I see the fellas on the other side?
He's not. He's
No,
down there.
As in, like,
Our people.
Oh,
in
you
my
sorry,
voice.
those 3. Yeah. You see them peer out from that window. The 2 of them.
okay,
that did.
so I'm gonna cross this log and go and join them if that's possible.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, so it's a really big, thick tree trunk, so you're able to get across it without needing to do any
So
sort of checks.
I go, okay, so the lake, it seems to be as a little sing-song. Maybe you drown. It's not so good. Don't recommend going for a swim.
I am not going to lie. I'm thoroughly stumped at this point.
Okay, so I think, does anyone know anything about the creatures that might... Would anyone know anything about a creature that drowns people and sings at you? Or anything like that?
Yeah, I think you would have heard of creatures doing that kind of stuff. Given that it sings, you think that it might be some kind of like hag that haunts the waters.
Okay, so
Do we know how to deal with hags?
You would think that you can stab them to death. That works. But they're intelligent creatures. You know, they've got language and stuff as well.
so it reminds me like, okay, so just so you're aware, our friend Bilios, he may have had a little drink of the magical potions that we got rid of, and I think he's going through some sort of transformation, a little bit airy. It's not so good. I convinced him that putting himself deep in water would help him, but I don't think he's got very long before he turns into something pretty nasty. So, that's that. In the meantime, maybe we shout out to this hag, see if we can get some information from her. Maybe if it could clarify if the statue is the person we are looking for, maybe?
Hello.
Yes.
Excellent. You see a shadow move through the waters, and you hear a voice sing out, and it gets quite close before you hear it, and it says,
Sweet bubbling current, ride it to me. Does the water's beauty not warrant that you dive in and see?
and I want you all to make a will save.
Fuck.
Fuck.
This is my best stat.
My
did it.
worst stat.
I did not. This is my worst stat by far.
I did just fine.
Yep.
No.
Oh, Evelyn going for a swim. That's
So who passed? Just Taylor.
Help me.
So everyone bar Percy starts to take a step towards the water.
Oh, I succeeded.
Oh, you
I
succeeded. Okay, everyone but Rye.
Yeah.
So it's Evelyn and Flint start taking a step towards the water's edge.
I really try to stop them from doing that.
Problematic couple, go.
No, what the fuck?
How do you two that can react? How do you react?
I guess I can only stop one at a time, probably. So I guess I'll try to stop Evelyn.
Okay, you grab hold of Evelyn, and what's Rye
I'll try
doing?
and stop Flint.
Okay, so it's actually the person who's in most sort of jeopardy has to roll. So I'm gonna say that they're both going to struggle. So Evelyn and Flint, can you roll me a strength check? And you kind of want to fail.
I do not feel.
It's the same as my
Flint.
score, by the way.
Oh, so you both pass. So you both try and grab
I
them
rolled with how much?
and fail. So both of them
Oh,
plunge
it's so slippery. Ugh.
into the water's depth before you manage to get hold of them.
Have fun carrying me.
You guys would see Evelyn's legs seem to disappear almost immediately. They just seem to sort of detach, and they seem almost two-dimensional as they sort of turn into pulp in the waters.
There's no one in this fucking party have normal limbs. Fuck.
The rest of it.
She
I know, right?
now gets her turn. She is going to try and drown
I told him.
Flint.
I was like, hey, I'm not a warrior.
You take 1d6 and it goes straight to your strength. You take 4 strength damage, PB, as these old, like, wizened hands with great claws grab you and drag your head under the water.
Yay.
And you all get another turn. So the 2 people who are underwater, you can make another will save.
Can I shout? You said the hag can understand.
I
like,
guess I'm
language.
dying tonight.
Oh,
Did you
boy.
pass?
Oh, that's
I'm
a
good.
20.
Right, so Evelyn, you are in the water, but you're not drowning because she hasn't picked you. Flint, you suddenly come to your senses and you realize there's water entering your lungs. You just see this like black shape in the water with hair sort of dancing to and fro, and this shriveled body has hold of you and is dragging you down. But you've broken the spell of her rhymes. Percy, what are you doing?
I'm gonna shoot at the hag.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's fine. Roll the damage. And Rye, what are you doing?
Really wanted to negotiate with this hag.
Remember,
It's gone so fucking wrong. And I'm actually going to shout to her, be like, Hag, we have already given you a sacrifice. Just tell us, is this statue a statue of Artima?
Okay, so she's gonna do a strength save because you instantly rinse to hell. You guys' attack rolls are insane. I was expecting 1s and 2s, but no, we're doing 6s and 8s today. So let's see if she passes. She just passes, barely. She's gonna let go of Flint at that point, and since you've shouted out at the same time, she's gonna back off. You sort of hear a bubbly voice from below the waters and says that
That name is inscribed upon the sickle with others.
Okay,
Do
very
not
good.
ki-
thank
do
you.
not
That's all
kill
we
me.
needed. And then, sorry.
No, she just sort of asks for her life as she retreats deeper into the water's edge.
Okay, I am gonna grab Evelyn.
Okay. You pull her out.
Let's get the homies out.
Evelyn, the spell's broken on you. You come to. You don't have any legs.
I guess.
Yay!
Evelyn, does
So
Zod come back?
I'll say if you have a rest to recover all your hit points, your legs grow back.
Okay.
Flint, you're also able to stop drowning.
Can I stab her before I do that?
Yeah, okay. You can.
Yeah, fuck her. She tried to drown me. She's dying. No,
Okay.
she's not. Goodbye.
She is. Well, I don't know about. Well, that's not how that works. So she
Huh?
just lives again, and fuck that. She's getting you as well. You take 1 damage. So you stab at her. She thinks she's escaped with a life and managed to negotiate out of this. And then a knife comes towards her, and she just manages to keep alive. There's blood now changing the color of this part of the lake, and she slashes out with her claws. So you take 1 point of damage considering your armor. She got 3 as her claws slash into you. How are you reacting, and how's everyone reacting on the shore to that?
I mean, I'm in this shit, you know.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
I
get
think
this
I'm good.
tussling underwater, right?
I was just talking to Evelyn. I'm like, so are you like a lizard tail? What's going on here?
They will
Please
come
come
back
back.
after rest. We
Okay.
should
You
camp by the cauldron. I have.
okay? You need a piggyback.
Yes.
Okay.
Percy,
Off we go.
what as this conversation's happening, and you can just see Flint has dived deeper in to try and kill this thing. What are you doing there?
Yeah, Flint, I gotta back his play, I guess. So I will attack again.
Okay, yeah,
If I
you
can.
can.
Fucking guys, man.
Yeah, you can roll it.
Back with the boys again.
Okay. Ooh, 6. All right, it's unlikely she's surviving that, but we'll see. Oh, she was so close. An arrow goes flying in from the crossbow, but you manage to stab with your knife under a ribcage, Flint. You just hear her she tries to do a rhyme in the last second. She can't spit it out. She just chokes and gurgles and sinks into the lake below.
No, I'm dragging her with me as I swim back.
You grab her.
Hold her above my head whenever I get to. I was like,
Okay. You get to the shot.
guttural scream.
This party is just unresolved issues. Fucking hell.
You bring her to the shoreline, and you just have this very old woman. She looks like, you should, been a human. She'd have been like an 85-year-old woman. And she's completely naked, with like wispy thin hair falling down, big whiskers on her chin, and you are holding her aloft, and she's just bleeding profusely.
I did this. Yeah. Toss the body aside on the
I look over at this and go, oh, champion of the tournament kills old woman, naked old woman.
I'm not very happy with that remark, but I'm also, at this point, probably like coughing up water.
Excellent.
Okay.
What are you each doing now?
I report to everyone that, yes, the sickle has the name that we're looking for on it.
In
May
fact,
I suggest that we go back to the cauldron room to
What
rest.
the hell happened to your legs?
I will explain in a moment. And let the day change. Let night come in midnight. And perhaps we'll see something different.
I will say, because she's told you that, you would probably be able to see that on the sickle there are several etched words that you can probably now guess are names. And now that you know what you're looking for, you can sort of make out the shape of which one is Artima. You probably won't be able to read the other names because you don't know what you're looking. You know what I mean? Like if you know a word from far away, you can probably tell it's that word. You probably would know the other names are just not Artima, but you wouldn't know what names they are.
Ooh.
My beautiful art skills on display here. So you would see that there are several names, and you would see from the shape of the words that the third one along is Artima. Like I said, the other ones you probably wouldn't be able to see, but just for the sake of this, that's what the sickle looks like.
All right, well, Evelyn's regrown her legs. You two want to topple a statue?
Sounds like
Can
a
try.
plan.
I like that Obsidar had to be the odd one out and not spell it with a UR. Just that kind of guy.
Fucking
No, the other one,
Obsidian.
Faramar
Yeah.
as well.
Oh yeah.
There's a farmer as well.
First
Oh, yeah,
two.
you got
Yeah.
farmer obsidian.
And then it's Tur. Or
Er.
R and Er.
But yeah, I'm guessing we can see which of the statues corresponds with the placement on the sickle and...
Yeah, you would absolutely make that assumption.
I'll be someone's backpack, I guess.
Yeah, I'm backpacking it.
I could perhaps
Well,
spare you a
you
leg.
could put me down. You get a topple statue, I guess.
So are you guys coming back into the statue room then, I assume, from what you're saying there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Try and dislodge this fucker into the pool.
Before we do that, does anyone have anything shiny that we can reflect the moonlight onto it first?
You all have weapons and things. Well, at least one of you's nicked a crescent moon thing that's quite shiny. I assume most of your weapons would be pretty shiny.
Should we go
Try
to
one
shine
of those.
first?
Yeah.
Okay, you shine it on the
Bright
one
like a diamond.
on the third one, which you would believe to be Artima. And moonlight bounces. Who's doing this, by the way? One of you has to get in the pool, not Evelyn, unless she wants to do it on someone's back.
I mean, I could, but I'll be paddling, so it'd be kind of hard. I hold it in my mouth, just like.
You've all spent enough time in the water. I shall do the reflecting.
Okay, so Percy stood there with his
Thank you, Percy.
Percy, give me your legs.
with one of the weapons
Yeah,
held.
let's get one leg each.
I have one leg and one arm.
With one, yeah, you've got the weapon held aloft, and it shines onto this statue, and you hear this deep thunk from deep within, and the smacking, the beating sounds stop.
Oh, I reckon we should probably go get that guy before he gets to whatever's in that chamber.
Yeah,
I probably should have rested first. My bad.
But my favorite thing is like Evelyn. I'm assuming cannot connect to your limbs, so she's just balanced on top of them. Is that correct?
Oh, I didn't actually ask for it.
No.
Okay.
She ends up looking like one of Sid's toys out of Toy Story at this point.
Yeah. A lot of that going on in here.
I'll lead the charge, sort of quickly making my way to the council chamber, assuming that Rye's still got Evelyn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so it's Flint in the lead, and then Evelyn piggybacking on Rye, and then Percy, since he has to like wade out of the water. And you beeline through the rooms that you've been through before, through this corridor, and then through the room that once had a font in it, no longer does, and the library, making your way into the council chamber. And the big door is no longer there. It seems to have sunk into the floor, and you can no longer see the creature. And you make your way through that room, and in that room is a large altar. On top of it, well, what would have been on top of it is a great gem. It's sort of purple, dusky purple in colour, but the stag man is holding it aloft and turns around as you approach, and you just see that big grin on his face as he does.
Give me line of sight.
Yeah. I will. Yeah. I'll get.
I don't care. My legs are
On
gone.
side.
And I think it'd be fun to cast a spell now.
Right.
But cast Thicket.
Okay, you want to cast Thicket, so
I want to stop him in place.
as he sees you doing that, he is going to try and attack as well. So I'm going to say that because you're in combat, you have to roll a will save. So if you roll me a will save.
Okay.
Is that all of us?
No, just Evelyn to cast this. Did you beat your score or get it? Evelyn.
Mine is a 9.
Oh, okay. So you, as you try to cast this spell, the creature begins to charge and it kind of throws you off. You know, there's no sort of penalty or anything. You just don't quite manage to cast it in that moment. And I'm going to say, everyone roll me a dexterity saving throw.
That's a pass.
Why won't you ever give me a strength check? That's the pass.
I rolled lower.
If I do enough damage to you, maybe. Okay, well, I'll say that because you managed to act quicker, you can roll me another will save if you want to try and cast it again. You can still do that before it gets to
Yes.
you. 10 again. The lack of, you're trying to cast this over Rye's shoulders,
Come on, you took my legs.
and the spell just won't come out.
I deserve this.
I think, is it just Mega and PB you both passed, yeah?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Enhanced dagger attack.
Oh, enhanced
Try
dagger.
and shoot his leg, clean off his leg.
Okay.
Oh, throw me off. That's fine.
Can you both
You don't
roll?
want to come with me?
Do you want that weight on you? I'll be choking you.
I mean, Rye's pretty strong. Like,
Fucking send it.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do this.
Okay, this thing's charging towards you, but you whip out your weapon and go to stab it while Flint fires from his bow. Yeah, so you've got a 6 there, Mega. Flint, did you get 2 there?
2, yeah.
Okay, so as this thing comes towards you, it manages to sort of duck to the side as Flint tries to stab it, but Rye's blade manages to get it into its rib cage. Feel a bit of resistance from the leather armor that this fellow was once wearing, so you do 5 damage to it. And
remember this, you bastard! As I stab a knife.
And
stab me with.
since you did damage, you see it break out into a huge grin, and it says, "You think you can find vengeance here for your fields, for your people?" And it lowers its head and tries to gore you with its 2 horns, and does 7 damage to you, Rye.
That's
Do you have
real
armor?
bad.
Do you
I
have?
do have 1 armor.
So it does 6.
Shit.
Oh,
Yeah, that takes all of my health.
right. So you now need to roll me a strength check.
Cool, I got that track I was asking for. Great.
So it went over by 1 point, so your strength is now lowered by 1 point, and you have to roll under that, which it looks like you did.
It's now 16, so I got
Okay,
7.
so you take these 2 antlers to the chest. There's blood dripping down your clothes, but you manage to keep it together. And yeah, next
I swear to
round.
God, once this spell finally goes off, you're fucked.
Okay, Evelyn, what are you doing?
I want to try to spell again, but I don't know if that impedes us too.
I'll say you can cast it in the area of it and sort of entrap it in the thicket, if you like. Flint.
Yay!
Hey, you cast it. Okay, so
That's 50 feet.
brilliant. So we'll say it starts where it is and goes backwards. Flint, what are you doing?
Does it count as immobile now?
Oh,
Am I seeing it get,
absolutely.
like,
You can, if you attack it, you get it. Anyone who attacks it gets a D12 thanks to the thicket. And Percy, what are you up to?
Going to turn into a wolf.
Right.
Oh, what?
Whenever I asked everyone what y'all can do,
Excellent. He did
He
sort
said he
of.
did say he
oh,
could.
he did. No, he did say that.
did.
Yeah.
Percy's form shifts. All these parts stay
I lost a
together.
lot of oxygen to the brain when I was underwater. Okay.
And you notice where Percy once was is now a wolf with a large silver chain hanging from its neck.
Does one of his paws fall off and then he puts it back on?
No, it's well, it's up to you. Percy can tell you that.
Ruin my joke for later, but that's all right.
Percy, what? So you can be a wolf. I'll say you can do something as a wolf in this turn.
I will attack. I will bite.
You get a
this
D12
creature.
because of Evelyn's thing. So yeah, roll it. 2. And Rye.
I'm going to get us out of the danger zone, because if it's immobilized now, I don't really want to take another hit. And I've got Evelyn on my back, so I think I'm going to retreat.
Okay, you retreat back. So that means that it takes the damage. So as you go to bite it, Taylor, it sort of manages to pull its arm out of the way, but directly into the path of Flint's arrow. It just makes a really easy shot for him, and it takes 8 damage. So it has to roll a strength save, and it needs a 4. And it did not get a 4, it got an 18. So the arrow hits it directly into the heart. And you see it's still smirking, and it just says, "I will have the last laugh. Flint, I know your father, and you will join him. One of these days, the woods will take you too, as it took your father, as it took
shoot him in the mouth with another arrow.
as it took her husband." And then the top of its jaw goes sailing off into nothing.
Well, someone doesn't want his backstory revealed, huh?
Or mine?
Or anyone else's.
And you see it there in its hands is this great purple gem, and it can no longer resist. It clunks to the floor as it let go, and you just see this whole creature go limp.
Flint, you seem to be the money man. You want to take the gem and maybe get out of here and possibly try to avoid our wizard companion. Percy, can you still talk like this, or is it all...
Oh!
Okay. Oh boy.
I think he said hello.
Oh, you speak wolf? Okay, we can work with this.
No, I just understand. I just get him. You won't get it.
Okay.
I pant happily as my tongue lolls out of my mouth.
Okay.
Wow. That's a sentence that's recorded for all time. Lovely.
We always said Taylor was a furry, didn't we?
Just
We did,
if one
yeah.
of you would call me puppy, I think that would go over really good, but whatever.
Okay.
Okay, big guy.
You have the gem, assuming one of you picks it up, but feel free to tell me
Yeah.
if that's not the case.
I'll take that shit.
Okay, Flint takes a hold of this gem, and yeah, where do you want to head?
Fuck out.
Look out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to where you came, or do you want to try and climb this waterfall?
I say down the waterway. It might be able to help us avoid Mr. Magic Man.
You'd
on the
have
way
to
out.
sort of climb up. If someone was at the top to give you a hand, it'd probably be quite easy, but the first person will find it a bit of a pain as the water sort of rushes onto them.
Evelyn,
Can't be me. I'm not really a person right now. So
Yeah, actually, it seems like we've got like Rye on the edge of death, Evelyn no legs, and a dog. So I guess we'll take the regular way around.
Okay. You walk back through the council chamber and into the library, up through the room with the font that is no longer there, and through the corridor. You head back into the room with the gold, and you then step out onto the shore. And you see, stood there in front of you, very wet, is Bilious. And I need to roll something for Bilious now.
Smart cat.
We
Should have fucking drowned him.
a 2.
I really did think about it. I should have done it.
You got a 2 now. You see him there, and he doesn't look very pleased. I'll tell you that. He does not look good. He doesn't look good at all. A 2. Oh, okay. He is not growing antlers. He is growing tusks. 2 great big tusks. He's now got a very large overbite as 2 huge tusks have come out from his bottom jaw. His nose is now looks squashed up, and he's got sort of a mane growing out from the back of his head. And he looks at you all, and he says, "What? I don't know what is happening to me." And then he looks over at Flint and sees the gem, and he says, "You will give me the gem." And how do you react to that?
I'm gonna start blasting.
I'm going to use repellent.
As soon as you go to get your bow, he pulls out.
Oh shit, he's a wizard. Fuck.
He reaches under his cloak and pulls out the medallion, and it has a symbol of the rising sun on the medallion. And he looks at you, Rye, and says,
Oh no.
"You owe us a debt. You owe a debt to our order. You will give me the gem. You will not let them hurt me. You will take the gem."
Is this Tusk situation? It's very hard to understand what you're saying. So repeat that, baby.
He says, "The Dawn Brigade did not have me infiltrate these fools to lose it to you. Take the gem."
No, so I think you're going to be mostly a bore very soon. So.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
He begins to charge. Can you all roll me a dex?
Oh, fuck.
I have new dexterity now, don't I?
I'm surprised
yes.
I can even have Dex.
I
Oh,
beefed
fuck.
that hard. And then PB beefed even harder. Yay.
I'm good. I'm under.
Evelyn and Wolf, what are you doing? This thing is charging straight towards.
Can I cast my spell again?
So every time you cast a spell, I should have said, you basically lose an inventory slot as you get a bit fatigued. You have 2 spare, I can see. So yes, you absolutely can cast it again. Can you roll me a will save?
Please.
Oh,
Hey.
okay. I'm going to say he doesn't
Not
even...
that bitch.
Since we're in the outside, he's got a bit more maneuverability with it. He's not sort of trapped in it as the stag was, but it has slowed him. I'm going to say that gets everyone a turn before he can even reach them as the thicket slows him down. And I'll say it's enhanced as well. So, Wolf, what are you doing as this thing is beginning to charge and is now sort of trapped in a thicket for a turn?
Yeah, I'm going to give him a nice bite, perhaps a lower limb to go it even further.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, roll a d12 since it's enhanced thanks to that. Okay, you got a 4. And I'll say that the other 2, you 2 also get your first turn before it gets to you. It was going for Flint, given he had the gem. But Flint, it gets trapped in the thicket. What do you do on that turn?
Yeah, I'm gonna shot him.
Okay,
No,
roll,
no.
you can have a... Oh, you got a 1. And Rye, what are you doing?
I'm going to first ask, have you got any of that healing you mentioned earlier?
Well, I'm confused with my item. I don't actually have it.
Okay, so
I think I can mix something up earlier, like I was going to do. I think I still have it.
Yeah, I would say that like you could absolutely rustle something up to heal him with, but you have to sit down and make a proper potion. But in terms of HP, that'd come back anyway. In terms of strength, if you've lost any strength, you have to have a good sit down still to get that cured. And she could rustle you up a proper healing.
Okay. I mean, I'll take anything I can get. I'm also going to just be starting a crowd chant of wolf versus boar. That's what I'm doing.
Right, okay. So I'm going to say the bite gets him, and your arrow, Flint, sort of hits into the thicket but doesn't catch him. It takes 3 actually. And some of it hits a leather bit of armor that was underneath his robe. So he is now going to charge. Well, he's got a wolf on him, so he's going to have to hit the wolf, isn't he, really? He's going to roll to see if he can gore you with his tusks. You take 2 damage as each tusk pierces you slightly.
That's okay.
That's okay? Okay, right, you all get another turn?
If folks don't know, a wolf has his own HP pool that starts at 6. I have 1 HP as a person.
Yeah, as a person, you're not doing too hard. Evelyn, what are you doing? You see the boar and the wolf fighting it out.
I guess I could throw my dagger.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can hurl it. Is it a D6 normally?
Yeah.
Yeah, roll a D6. Flint?
Yeah, I'm gonna run in alongside Wolfie and try and gank it with the present blade.
You roll me a D8. Oh, wow, both got a 4. Percy? Wolf, Percy?
Still biting.
Okay, yeah, roll. Is it D6? I can't remember.
What did we say? I think it was a D8.
What's a D8?
8 on the bite, yep.
Nice, D8.
And a 4.
3 4s. And, right.
Fling, and I got 2.
Okay, I'm gonna say, just for flavor, that while the sling goes overhead, the rest of you all manage to slightly catch this boar man and do a damage point each, basically. As, you know, a tooth manages to go into his shoulder, an arrow just scrapes him across the other one, and this hurled dagger just, like, glances off of his thigh. And he already has to make a strength save. Right, let's see if he passes. He has a strength of 12, and I rolled a 13. He fails. Each of these attacks just cuts him deep enough that he drops, and you can see him getting more and more piggy as he goes down. And he's trying to talk through the pain, but he just keeps snorting through, and he's like, "You've betrayed our order. There will be consequences." And then he drops and dies.
Rai sort of like ambles over and takes the medallion of the Dawn Brigade.
Okay.
And pockets it and just goes, it's so strange that a wild animal would have this. They would probably want this back at some point. They should probably have this. Yeah.
So, I'll say that since you've taken from his body, you would notice everything else, pretty much. He did have a couple of spell books on him. One was for an illusion. One was to change gravity for one person. He probably would have used that had he not been turning into a boar. He does have a symbol of the Dawn Brigade, and he also has a letter on his corpse that says, "Bilius, do not worry about any party the king may send. We have an agent amongst them. Should they arrive, it'll be a young lass. She has our flower. Reminder of that if she's trouble. You just worry about keeping the knucklebones on side. Of course, should it go awry, that foolish nature spirit, and some think of it as a god, it's enough to make one spit, can be released. It's caused some delightful trouble for us among the peasants. They stop believing in witches once she begins babbling about the forest taking her lover and begins sobbing like a teenager. And they stop believing that their ways are enough to maintain their livelihood when it lures silly girls away from their fields. They all come to stare into the sunrise eventually. They'll all yearn for the structure and protection our order can bring. And if this goes to plan, Bilius, all in the kingdom will bask in the rising sun's glory. Best of luck, Godwin Sunseeker."
Getting a lot of misogyny vibes from this guy. I don't know about you.
That was fucked up, man.
Give
me those books.
Yeah, you have 2 spell books from that. And
yeah, happily hand them over to you, Evelyn.
And you take the spell books, and you have completed the Temple of the Moon Priest. I'll say that you walk on your way back through the woods, and there's no dangers really as you step through. Who keeps the gem on them?
I'm the only one who wants the money. I'm gonna keep it.
You have to spend one night on the road as you walk back, and that night you start to have the most horrific nightmares.
Good.
Yay.
The moon shines down upon you, and from its light, these small, impish creatures of silver seem to disperse from it. You can feel them scrabbling all over you as you try and sleep, and you wake up in a sweat and see these things around you. They've come to life from within the gem. They quickly disappear as you wake, but you know that if you were to hold on to this, you probably wouldn't have a good night's sleep the rest of your life, that these things would torture you for your newly eternal life.
That's a king's problem, not mine, buddy.
Rye's stretching, be like, oh, I slept so well.
I have legs again.
Yes, you have legs. You grow legs. Your papery legs grow back. Does Flint tell anyone about what happened in the night?
Nope, he intends to get paid and to live a very lavish life for the rest
Excellent.
of time.
I do inform Flint because he asked, I guess yesterday, about why I'm here, and she'll just say she lost someone to the woods too, since that's been kind of revealed.
I think Flint would give like a bit of an understanding nod, you know, a bit of empathy, a bit of, you know, shared experience there. Wouldn't say much. He's gonna get paid, but you know, knowing look and a nod.
Excellent. You are able then to deliver this gem to the king, who responds with the gratitude that you'd expect. You're each given more money than you've ever seen in your lives to do with as you please, patches of land that are gifted to each of you, and he seems to have a genuine desire to, you know, restore the Order of Canas to its former glory, to protect, you know, the people from the woods and the things that have been taken from you, that it shouldn't happen again. He wants to make sure, he seems to have a genuine desire, and for a while all is well in the kingdom. News of his miraculous recovery spreads throughout the land, and the troubles at the borders, they cease to be. The neighboring countries realize that their opportunity is no more, and their troops are pulled away. But the decisions the king starts to make over the coming months get stranger and stranger. Strange taxes at first, then soldiers are sent to quell what he sees as uprisings that most would see as just people going about their day. Then he starts getting aggressive. He starts sending troops to the borders himself. And I think that's a tale for another time, really. But you've done it.
Time to kill the king.
I'm busy living on my party yacht, like the other side of the world. I'm good. Internal conflicts unresolved for all time. Let's go.
Excellent.
Changed identity, rerouting all mail from Drawn Brigade. My future, I think.
Excellent. Yeah, so you have done it. That is the Temple of the Moon Priest, with some additions, obviously. Like I said, it was just a one-page dungeon. I definitely recommend you go have a look if you want to see what that looked like. It's really nicely illustrated. It's quite succinct. But putting the little Cairn add-ons in from each of your characters and stuff was a lot of fun. And I had a lot of fun playing it. I hope you guys did as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was
So-
fucking excellent.
Bad ending though, right?
Well, I had
It's like a B ending.
I had no idea what you guys would do with that gem once you got it. But yeah, awesome stuff. Like I
Part
said,
of me thought it was gonna poof out of existence as soon as
Yeah, the coins. That
I would
be-
actually say
Yeah.
you probably that night, the first night, anyone who took coins would have felt them reappear as the moon shined down. They would have reappeared in their pockets for anyone who did
Nightmare
take
worth
it.
it.
Oh yeah, that extra money. I'm gonna like find any bank that's open at night and just turn that shit in for real money and then be gone the next day.
Banks famously open at night.
Yeah, the famous night banks.
Look, if you know some scummy characters like I do, you can find a night bank.
That's true.
Yeah.
Is there any secrets we missed, Jimmy, that you want to tell us about?
Yeah, I'll tell you that the one room you didn't go in, there was only one room, and it had some helpful owls in it. Talking
God
damn
owls.
it.
Which I thought was going to be quite nice, given, you know, PB. But we did not go in that.
Lined up all the owls in a row and like shot them with his bow. So they all stick to the wall.
Yeah, you didn't go into the owl room. I could have done more random encounters, and I probably should have done, but it was just a lot of fun listening to you guys devise solutions and run around the temple that I ended up not rolling as many as I probably should have. But, you know, there were a few things in there, but most of it was knucklebones pissing around and getting scared or arguing over things. But other than that, he did well. I did think at one point, I was like, oh shit, they're not going up to that statue ever.
Yeah, I don't know why I discounted that statue. I was like,
One failed dex roll and you were like, nah, I'm done.
Yep.
Out.
Whatever's at the top of that waterfall, I do not care. But
You
eventually...
know, he would immediately be in that hag conflict.
my character,
Yeah, true.
my character's vice is Lizzie, so you know.
Yeah.
Can I
tried once and then gave up immediately and just retired.
Who did
Please, just for the record, can we never forget that PB killed a naked old woman?
He did kill a naked old woman.
Reiterate that.
Did any...
I'll kill another if she comes out to me incorrect again. You know.
I'll kill again.
Did anyone lose much strength? Just out of curiosity, I'm just wondering how close to death anyone got.
Just one.
Just 1
17.
point.
Yeah,
I was
10 out of
perfect.
14.
I lost my
only lost
1
my
HP
legs.
point.
Nice.
Still had one left.
So in terms of strength, then, so because what happens in this game is obviously if you start taking damage to strength, you have to roll strength checks, and if you lose, you start dying. But if you go to 0 strength, you die. And obviously, like I said, if I'd have rolled more random encounters, you could have got into more fights, I suppose. But yeah, I think I was having a little bit too much fun. But yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. I'm glad you guys did. I hope chat did. So this is something I want to run.
Thank you very much, Jimmy.
Oh, no worries. Thanks for hosting.
Sorry.
I want to try and make this at least semi-regular. I'm not promising, you know, it's definitely not going to be a weekly affair, let's put it that way. But it'll be
I would love to revisit these characters if we have the opportunity.
I would.
We can arrange that. I want to swap it up, do some different games maybe, but I would absolutely come back to Cairn or any kind of fantasy style RPG. There's many of them out there.
There is always the option of basically transplanting the same characters into various different worlds and scenarios.
Well, I mean, if you guys, and this is the hint I'll give to chat, if you guys want to try and base an FBI agent on the people you've just made, that'll work well for the next one, but I'll come to that another time.
An FBI agent that
I
has
need the
deceitful
rules
on the character
now.
sheet.
Well, that suits. That works well. So yeah, that's sort of the plan.
I look forward to it.
But yeah, just really glad everyone had fun.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yes,
thank you
yes.
everyone for being
Pleasure,
here.
Pat.
Thanks, chat.
Thank you all for watching, cheering us on. I believe it in me, believe it in Flint.
The main
We all
character.
live. Never
Hey,
goes
fuck
We
away.
didn't.
I didn't expect Mega's character to be like so. Were you planning to play her as so amoral?
Yeah, I got this.
She got this
honestly,
far. I mean, why
Oh,
not?
can I just say one thing we didn't reveal is we do have a whole ass poem for Mega's character that
Oh, yeah.
has yet to be
Yeah,
shown.
sure.
But yes.
And obviously, when I saw that, I thought Mega would be playing the straight guy for this character.
Yeah, that,
And he ended up being the French wisecracking, not straight
the
guy.
the most French girl. That's just like too cool and flighty and non-committal.
He was basically being my tiefling. Or
Man.
should I say
Yeah.
tiefling?
I just found the character while I was playing her. I wasn't sure where she was going to go to start with.
That's
I was
always the
planning on
fun.
being straight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was ready to dissuade you from listening to Bilious.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was going to start shooting, you know.
Wow. Thanks, Flint. Love you too.
I met you like a day ago. Come on now.
Yeah, I know.
You're going to get in the way of my retirement fund. I got mad
I was
at
hoping to get carried one more time by Flint.
Another time, another world.
Our problematic couple endures. I'm losing it over this like
Shaking my
horrible amalgamation of flesh that essentially has like Beats headphones on. It's just shuffling.